Is everyone in the jam?
There's some
No, I'm
chloroplast going on.
Chloroplast of Cosmarium is playing. Tim can join whenever at your leisure if you would like.
Joining right now.
Actually, Mikey Jacoby is not in there as well.
Yeah, I didn't do that at all.
There's Tim, and Mike can join when you're ready. It is still Middas, the 29th of Rain's hand. After you all, the Forsaken Winds, use magical means to teleport into Daenor with a squad of Creation Glassguard, you had entered Moira's arcane lab in her current absence from the city. You engaged her primary attendant, the Scribe, as well as a Wraithwatch Deadeye, and a newly created Infernal Simic. You destroyed the magic subjecting a Radiant Dragonborn from the Scribe's control, and managed to defeat the Deadeye and the Scribe. As the Infernal Simic continues to rage on, fighting the Glassguard and currently Roulette, many of you find a chance to gain understanding within the burning remnants of the Scribe. So we will bring us back to this screen. Throw back up the initiative tracker. And it is technically the beginning of combat, or the beginning of the new round. Up here, and I don't imagine you're necessarily making any tactician moves here and now, so I'm going to plan on just resuming with Jiri.
Because we're all groups.
What's the... Yeah. There's nothing to change. Okay.
So Jiri, you have spent more than a few moments now peering into the burning remains of the Scribe, a lore devil in Moira's service whose form was comprised of living parchment codices, scrolls of ancient secrets, and all sorts of other compendiums of knowledge. As you currently have limited time to search for meaningful information before it burns away and is lost, Telperian's telepathic assistance had just helped you push away distracting thoughts and focus your mind against the pull of the lore form curse, trying to seep into your mind. And you prioritize information Moira may have had incorporated into this creature's form about your foggy history, the nature of your patron source of magic, Hyperivel, and your associated bonding to one another. You're urged onward from within, as even though you're now on healthier terms with your symbiotic partner, this information is very directly what Hyperivel has been for several months desperately pushing you northward to discover. You hear him in your mind.
This is it, Jiri. What we've worked so patiently and tirelessly for. There must be something here. Look! Here!
And although you have another turn to successfully engage in a secret, the first one you had focused on with Telperian's assistance was the nature of that binding.
Mm-hmm.
Your sight locks on to two sheets of paper that catch your eye because they include mention of Hyperivel, or at least his experimental designation, X3H, as well as your name. And as these scraps of parchment, as you grab them and stare at them burning away into nothing, as they disappear, their knowledge is magically imprinted in your mind as you stare at the contents. And Tim, I will send you an email of these 2 pages of notes you found on this subject. I'm choosing to send these via email to you. You're welcome, if you want, to read them at table level for everyone's experience, but you don't have to. There's some information here that could be something you choose to keep secret or for whatever reason aren't ready to share yet. But for now, these aren't party level knowledge. This is something that would just, as it burned away, this arcane, illusory knowledge bound to this parchment is imprinted on your mind.
I'm gonna read it and make that decision, and probably want to RP it out if Jiri's gonna share it.
Okay, perfect. So in this moment, at least, that knowledge is imprinted on your mind. But now a couple other turns and sequences have happened, and it's now the beginning of the new round where you have an additional chance, and you had just passed your secondary check or saving throw to continue reading without giving into the lore form curse. So with this second check, what do you pursue? What knowledge do you prioritize?
Magical secrets.
Okay.
Specifically looking for ways to protect myself and my friends.
Okay. As you leaf through, magical arcane knowledge is everywhere, ubiquitous within this creature's form, but you finally settle on a piece of parchment that you think you could do justice with. Do you choose Death Ward?
No. Jerry looks at 2 sheets of paper. There's one preventing death, and that seems like something that Uirama can do. Instead, he goes for a spell that feels powerful. Jerry loves and craves power, so he will take the Circle of Power.
Okay. Nice collapse. I will custom add, if you're not able to, I will figure out a way to custom add that into your spell sheet. Jiri fundamentally learns the spell Circle of Power. Telperion and the approaching Tobirama, you're seeing Jiri just search madly through this form, and he comes away with pieces of paper that he stares at until they burn away. But in the meanwhile, it is Roulette's turn. Roulette, how are you doing over near this large infernal simic creature, Project Insidium, fighting it with Daisy and the Glass Guard?
Burton. I don't believe I'm concentrating on anything right now because it would have just been my.
Was there an arcane weapon in there at some point that you were triggering with some dragoon damage?
I am down to 30% of my max hit points, so I am just going to assume that I took a hit at some point, and I don't remember what specifically hit me, but I know I took a hit, and I am assuming I don't have it anymore.
Okay,
actually,
fair enough.
hold on. If I scroll up, what did the last attack I did?
Yeah, that's a good way to...
I mean, I see a con save from you.
It was probably against the poisonous effect of the
that's right.
wounds.
Oh,
There
wait a
is an
second.
attack roll here from Mirrorlight Blade, 2d6, 2d4, 1d6. So I assume force, psychic, but then there's a 4 and a 5
So
applied.
that 1d6 would be the elemental, so it should still be active.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're not steel synced, so you're you should be still active with.
Neat.
I think you probably chose lightning.
I definitely did. Yeah. I don't think I did. I don't think I chose fire. I am just gonna keep swinging away at this guy in front of me because that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, I believe you had a couple crits, or at least one recently. You have been shredding through this creature. It is a bulwark of just mass and infernal skin that, as you're slicing through it, is just like bubbling with black ichor embedded and poisonous green goo that's just seeping from it. But it's taken quite a few hits. You think you're well on your way to destroying it.
I will swing away at it with.
Okay. You are flanking with Daisy.
Beautiful.
Let me scroll back down to the bottom. 22 will hit, absolutely.
Really should. Okay. 2d6 plus 2d4 plus 1d6 plus. I should just have this stored, but I didn't do it yet. Plus 4 plus 5. Whoa, my thing just froze.
I saw the damage roll come through. Looks like 25 damage.
25.
That is a healthy hit.
Do you need
Carve
this?
across its... no, I do not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
It's slashing, psychic.
Oh, some of
lightning.
the slashing, only the slashing is reduced.
There's
So that will...
11 slashing.
Perfect.
And I will swing again.
Okay, go for it. Unreal.
How many dice?
Plus 2d6 plus 4 plus 5.
Ka-ching.
How much slashing damage is there?
There is 17 slashing.
So reduced by 8 total. How do you slay the Infernal Simic?
Wow.
Gosh.
By 2 hit points.
Can you pop him up again to the big screen? Because I don't remember what he looks like. Does he have a face?
There's like a metal shield over his face, but you see slits at the very edges where there are eyes bleeding red. This creature was once a chain devil you guys had sort of identified because you fought one before, but has been twisted of form to incorporate wyvern characteristics.
I imagine that Roulette just gets really into like she's in her form now. She knows how to use this greatsword, and she just swings so fast that it looks like the projections are missing but also hitting at the same time, and there's like the delayed anime like, and then the arm falls off, or the wings rather is what she would be going for, and then the head.
As you dissect and separate this creature, it just falls in a heap to the floor, and landing on top of it is its dread iron pauldron, which previously had only been affixed to talons previously, so that's somewhat notable that it was included on this creature. But you have successfully slain this creature, and the glass guard next to you immediately begin cheering and celebrating your victory.
What was that thing called?
It was Project Insidium and Infernal Simic.
Immediately, she's having flashbacks of fighting the Maker and almost losing some mithril wiring stuff. I'm going to have Daisy just scour the body for anything that like is not the pauldron or the weapon, because those would be obviously easily grabbed. Anything that's like on this project's body that might wither away if he's about to burn away.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check using Daisy's stat block.
Yeah, that's Daisy's not as smart as I am. -3. Investigation. Yeah. But a nat 20 would be nice. Oh, I'll take a 13.
Oh wow, a -3. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she dumb.
She roots around in its form and does find a clump of what looks like a wyvern poison sac.
Amazing.
But you see the rest of the flesh of this creature and muscle, sinew, and blood just starts to burn, embering and smoldering away.
I will pop just like 10 feet in the air to glance over at the boys and their book club.
Very well. You see Toby Rama rushing over there. Who is next? Will that do it for Roulette's turn? Toby, you have rushed to this location at the command of Telperion previously, and you're now seeing Jiri sort of pull away slightly from the body of the scribe, which continues to burn away, its essence returning to some corner of the hells to remanifest over time. As you near touchdown and arrive, what do you do?
Well, during my mad dash of a flight, I was very concerned about the state of Telperion, so I will start with a second level healing word as I fly down. And I get max on the first one. I roll 2 4s, that's big. So that is 18 healing to Telperion.
I'm crazy for healing. Thank you.
And then, yeah, I will fly in up near this thing. What is it, Telperion? What's going on?
This story on crit. because we heard how the check worked, and because what I want to be really careful of is not metagaming and thinking about Topirian.
I think I know where your head. I know where your head's going.
Okay, so because I'm watching this and we obviously can deduce it's going quickly, but I'm experienced-ish with devils and deals. And so I think I'm approaching this with distrust, but also understanding opportunity. I'm intelligent here. So he would probably be assessing, I don't think I can assess that, there's a wisdom check here, or I need to even warn you per se. But when Jerry had to do a wisdom check, did he push through something? Whatever.
I'm going to say, so you having used your action previously to aid Jiri, even though he already had advantage from a prior capability, I'm going to say because that was such a cool moment narratively and focusing his mind on a specific task, you did assist him. It was bolstered by the Hero's Feast's magic, but you felt him starting to be pulled into this spiral of infernal magic that is there. So this lore form curse is a thing that could be a threat. So you're welcome to warn Toby about that.
Okay. Toby, this thing is her personal scribe thing, whatever. It has magical knowledge. Seek what you will for your own if you can, but just be careful not to be tempted in. I think it's dangerous, but could be worth taking something.
I think Toby will also have some semblance of a, kind of rushed, because there's a blinking thing there, right, as well? Isn't there a mote of something?
Not necessarily. There's you guys saw him sort of ignite, and I think you specifically were worried about such as the Delayed Blast Fireball, but there's no blinking anything. It's just the entire form is smoldering and alighting in fire as its essence burns away to the hells, as you cannot truly kill a devil on this plane.
I think Toby will kind of have a moment of I don't need anything from her. Kelemvor has provided me everything I've needed to survive. But then Toby does feel Lerniala on his back, and it's there's a moment of I haven't been using that as much, and it was such a source of survival and fulfillment during my wandering years. And so hesitantly I'll look in there, interested to see if she has knowledge on combat and archery, as he doesn't feel that's necessarily close to what he worships and gets from Kelemvor.
Okay. So as you indulge a moment of curiosity looking for that you seek, at least for as long as you can justify investigating something so profane and unholy, please make a wisdom save.
Boom. Didn't even need my luck point.
Steer that's through with a fortified mind of divinity-aided guidance.
I really was for several days, I'm I might fail 2 rolls in a row, and that would suck.
You couldn't have one. That's kind of bad.
So you feel the pull of this lore form curse. There's so much knowledge here. It's so appealing. You could unmask secrets of the multiverse here. But you keep on track, you stay prioritized, and you stumble across a scroll of patterns and glyph work that seem indiscernible. Yet as they burn away and you stare at their contents, they push their knowledge into your mind, that of a magically enhanced martial technique. You choose Swift Quiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Toby is he does that and he's okay, yeah. Too much, we gotta be careful here. Even that mundane knowledge was a huge risk.
Okay. Will that do it for your turn, or is there anything you want to do with a bonus action?
I healed Telperion.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I will take time. I think you took all of that, a ton of that damage on this last turn. So I don't think Toby has totally clocked that yet. So he's gonna start turning, see the Simic dead in the distance, and just kind of hang out here for a moment. And that'll be my turn.
Telperion, it's your turn. You've steered a couple allies well and true against this curse bound into this creature. But now you find yourself with a few moments to consider. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to narrate a little bit of my thinking because I think it just would be more interesting. So I'll actually do a little bit of his interiority here. So I've been watching them search this thing, and I know Moira, and I've seen her mind, and I know the fiery temptation and hell that I'm not ready for. And today, I felt creative. I can't think clearly, so fuck. So what I want to do is use an action to kind of craft something real quick in my object interaction to take out my Pearl of Power and my spellbook. And I want to grab a blank page, and I want to take, and I'm just going, like, I'm just trying something.
Yeah, you're trying something.
So,
yeah, I love it.
And I take these two objects and a little bit of ink, and I, with my action, just compress them with a psionic energy if I can. And I want to quick toss my bonus action and just bullet it into this thing and just try to like see if I can. My goal with this is like, I can't do this, but maybe I can get something imprinted here somehow. And this thing has spell power. So whatever happens, but this is how I fuck with her today, is I try to preserve this without letting her have her way. And so I just want to sweep those all into one thing.
That is very cool. I will say this is all facilitated through a telepathic effort to shove magic, your spellbook, and psionic energy to grasp something in its form. I'm going to say your spellbook and Pearl of Power are at risk when you do this.
Okay.
But there is an upside. Please make a straight intelligence check. This is psionic, so you can use the +1 granted by Kiramar.
Oh, okay. Okay, a +5 feels a lot better than a +0. What kind of check is it? Just intelligence check.
Straight intelligence. This is force of telekinetic control and intent.
Okay, I got it. I've been rolling a d12 with my d20 now, so I can like actually, like, I hate rolling a single die. I feel like it's bad luck. You got to roll two together. So
Interesting.
Oh, that wasn't good. That was a 4. I'm gonna use an inspiration point for this.
Okay. I'm with you
two,
using,
so.
if you choose to use an inspiration point, I'll clarify something. Anything less than 10, you're going to lose the contents of your spellbook, and the Pearl of Power will be shattered. 10 to 19, they will fail to grasp anything, but will not be destroyed. 20 or higher, you will achieve a grasp of something random.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I can't believe I'm rolling for my spell book. Oh! That, it's a 17 +5.
Really funny
I will
because
say
I
your
heard him-
scream, I was like, that seems
I heard-
bad.
I heard him screaming from the basement, and I was like, "That's a good scream. I know what that scream is."
It's funny, it didn't
I'll
even
take you
come
a picture.
through the
I know.
audio here.
Yeah.
Oh, I shrieked.
I will not give you... Actually, yeah, I'll give you this page. As you see your spellbook infuse with the magic of the Pearl of Power and clamp it sort of slams shut on a single page. You see flit into it, and there's a small detonation of force around it, and then the remains of the scribe burn up entirely, and a single rolled up piece of paper floats above, unravels, and with a small pop disappears, the core of this creature having been removed from this plane. But your spellbook contains something that you have to investigate to find out. Is that it for your turn? I think that was kind of all your action economies other than movement. All right.
Well, actually, let me just check the scene. There's nothing to move, so, and I just watched. It's fine. I'm done.
Okay. I'm going to say the Glassguard elites will continue to surveil and lock down the area that Roulette just cleared, and will bypass their turn as a series of 4 imps off in the distance look at each other and skitter scatter and they give each other a command, and you hear a series of popping sounds. Poof, poof, poof. And you lose sight of them. Project Insidium, at least the infernal portion of that infernal Simic form begins to melt and burn away, leaving only the wyvern poison gland and a thin strand of the vein of tail within it. The wings have been sundered. The dread iron pauldron sort of settles to the ground as the shoulder beneath it melts and burns away, and its axe chain falls to the ground. It smells pretty bad over there. Over near the other group, you just smell the faint scent of sulfur as that creature has burned and returned to the hells. And you heard a moment of flittering wings, but they disappeared rapidly. You're not sure where those imp creatures may have gone. But there's no current threat.
Imps existed.
This current threat in this area seem to be all gone. An initiative will conclude. What do you guys want to do in the aftermath?
Roulette, can we lock this place down, you think?
What do you mean lock it down?
Like, the entrance we came in, do you think we could find some way to trigger? She has to have a fucking, like, ability to guard herself in here. Like, there has to be a way to shut the door, right? And, like, lock it from within so no one comes in.
Oh, like something that she might have to be like, hey, shut the barn door.
We're gonna have to search for, I mean, it'll probably be arcane, so we'd have to search for some kind of mechanism. I don't want to trip an alarm on accident, but we need to be contained.
Speaking of arcane, and I will look up at this gold dragonborn. Is that gold dragonborn creature still just like arms out?
Arms to the side, head slumped down, breathing heavily.
Conscious?
Unsure.
What do we say we migrate a bit north of here, away from these stinky vats of shit? And I will, like, there's a big table up by the north end of the room where our book friend was before, but I don't want to go near it yet. But just like on that side of the room, I guess like over here. If everyone wants to group up over there.
I just want to frisk the Deadeye before I leave it. I'm not looking for anything crazy, but just like, does this guy have anything, a key? Does he have anything out of the norm that could be useful?
No coin purse, no key. You do find a quiver of dread iron arrows, a standard longbow, and 2 dread iron daggers.
I'll quiver those all up.
Okay.
Before
I will ask. Sorry, I'll just ask the Glassguard to like pick up the pauldron and the axe and the chain to carry it because I don't want to right now.
Okay, they will retrieve those items and stow them.
Before there's any chance for, even a thought, Toby has, before his wings faded away, flown over to Roulette and administered 30 hit points with a action of my healing hands and a bonus action healing word. Just in quick succession, saying how rough you were looking there.
I will also be doing some healing for the party.
We might rest if we can, right?
Yeah, let's get to a non-critical state, and then we can decide if we're
Well, just
resting.
before Roulette helps. Well, yeah, you guys are right.
I'm at some point in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to cast Healing Spirit, at level 2, not upcasting it, just to do a 10d6. So I will roll that and probably take all of it.
Okay.
How bad were you?
I was at 40. Yeah.
But 30 back from me.
Yep.
Telperion, how are you looking? Better?
I'm 3/4 full,
Okay.
so I can finish the rest with short rest.
Because you got hit with Disintegrate, so I'm concerned.
I rolled my max on my healing, which is getting really good. So that was 22, and then you healed me on top of that, so I'm great.
And then I hit Jiri, so I think we're not super critical.
Ooh.
We also have a
Well,
couple of just
Shaggy.
basic healing potions if anyone wants
Shaggy
more.
could use some healing.
Yeah, I can hit Shaggy
But also-
with some low levels if we can't short rest.
What about those flying invisible things that were attacking me? Where'd they go?
Yeah, I guess
What were they?
passive perception, did they seem to be flying back to their stations at the tethers that Telperion describes to me in the aftermath here?
I'd say passive perception, you were near enough to hear them leave, and you did not hear where they went from there.
Okay.
Is there an exit over on this side?
I mean, there's a
Is it an
big
exit besides the one we-
vacuous pit that maybe
Oh,
goes somewhere foul.
can imps talk?
You heard them chattering in Infernal.
We probably do
anyone
not
hit-
have much time.
Fuck. Well, that's what we got to find
A
a look,
couple,
right?
a couple minutes are able to go by, at least for Healing Word and Healing Spirit. But as you guys continue surveilling your environment and considering what time you have available, you hear coughing from the Dragonborn individual.
I am going to start walking that way.
To me.
Sure. I'll walk over there too. Probably one of the most important things in this room to investigate.
Yeah. Telperion, you were looking magically before. Did it seem like there were
Oh,
traps,
sorry.
sigils,
I detected. Well, first of all, there's magic everywhere, so
magic
that's a
everywhere?
hard question
We
to
saw
answer.
Daisy just walk up to the Dragonborn, right? And there wasn't like a big
Daisy
Well,
did-
also, I can tell you.
Correct.
I'm sorry. I can tell you at the very least that whatever. Oh, sorry. There was something arcane going on here, but those little imps were facilitating it invisibly from roughly there, and there. And once they were disrupted, the magic stopped. So, hey friend, are you looking for a hand, or do you think you have spells around you still?
One of you was able to sever the control they had over my breath. That has been disrupted. But I am still bound by planar magics from the witch, binding my essence here. I must be freed. Grand purposes must be met. We must away from this place.
Who are you?
I was once called Kuyutha, an exarch under Bahamut's dominion.
No one of those ones.
I am now something else. Past the call of mortality and still in his service. If you are able to free me, the Platinum Dragon will surely bestow upon you a blessing.
I don't know all about it. I haven't cast it, but I certainly know the level of magic required in planar bindings. Yeah, Toby's gonna start walking to the Dragonborn. Is gonna get, face to face, and to anyone looking on, is like gonna get ready to do something.
You're gonna do something that could harm him?
I'm going to free him.
By all means. But wait.
Toby, you want me to check out up here to see if there's like an off switch so you don't have to do it yourself?
You're welcome to, but this is some high-level magic that I don't know she could have kept this creature around long enough to do a sustained version of this, where I don't think it's like a teleportation circle that she had all the time in the world. I think she cast this on them, and I can undo it.
Sure, Toby, I'm all for you doing that, but I just want to ask one more question. Exarch, Hutha, anyone who is here against their will, no friend to Moira, I presume, is a friend of mine, most likely, but why does she have you here? What are we...
I believe I was to be bound to her latest creation. Similar in fashion to the old emblems. She sought to create a new one for the king. Past failures have informed her of a way. My essence was about to disappear from this world, fused with an item of dark celestial.
Ooh, I got a buddy. The same thing happened to them. Are you a powerful being?
Jiri, certainly this creature is another attempt at what they wanted of me. We must free him at all costs. Perhaps he can aid us. I suspect she would not have summoned a creature of lesser potency than myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I step back.
All right.
That's all I needed to hear, Toby. But please.
This dude's crazy powerful. Let's get him out of here.
Okay. At the hope of maybe getting away with saving a 5th level, and now that I can regain my 3rd levels, I'm going to start with another attempt at just a 3rd level Dispel Magic.
Okay, before you roll for that, you have already recovered one 3rd level spell. So
And I can do
one of your Harness Divine Powers. Okay. You are welcome to roll for your Dispel Magic.
Which is
previously you rolled sufficiently to disrupt possibly some version of magic circle or some manipulation of this creature, but not high enough to end this current magic. So you are welcome to try that again.
Yeah, let me Dispel
And roll
Magic.
that.
10
With a couple
plus-
minutes of mendings, you're welcome to fill Daisy's hit point total.
It's 2d6 per minute, so I'm over the next 10 minutes. I'm assuming, yeah, she's already at full, so yeah.
Perfect.
I need
Thank
to
you.
roll a 10 or higher, and I didn't use my luck point earlier, so there's a chance I'll use it here. I rolled an 11 plus 5 for my spellcasting ability, which, if I'm thinking this is a 5th level spell, I'm anticipating that this will succeed. but we'll see what happens here.
I am double checking.
Oh, I'm so scared. This is like Mage Wars.
I am interested to hear. Wait, how does luck work? Do I get to hear if it's a success or failure before I use this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the new rules. The new rules is you choose to give yourself advantage before a check.
Gotcha.
But yes, in the current 2014 rules, yes.
Abuse it while you got it.
Session 121. How does luck work?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Rama.
That's 1 point.
You feel the presence of the magic you believed this to be. But your current effort is not sufficient as it has been upcasted to bind this individual here for longer. And you are not quite pushing through and breaking the connection. 16 is a failure. You are welcome to luck point it.
Yeah.
Can
This will
I?
be your only luck point of the day, potentially. Unless Roulette's able to do a thing.
I wasn't there the first time around, but having healed Daisy and knowing that there's probably no off switch, I will just get closer to little Tobes for his second attempt. Assuming
actually,
he's going for his second attempt.
Yeah.
You could use. You don't-
Fair. I like
you-
that. I appreciate that.
I don't have a 6th level spell anymore. I could just cast it at a 7th, but I don't want to use that here. I now think doing a 5th level. So yeah, I'd like to kind of expend some stuff here on a 3rd level spell that I can recover potentially.
Okay.
So
So are
I'm
you
gonna-
eyeing your luck point to start?
Yes. Let me mark that
Okay.
before I even roll.
And your
Yep,
luck
that will be
point.
your one luck point for the day.
Where do I have that? Oh, you put it in the thing now, so I can mark a charge. Thank you. That is
Oh,
nicer.
perfect.
Okay, rolling. I rolled an 11 again, which is going to bring me to a 16.
I, seeing that, will do Flash of Genius, and I will say, what? What will I say? How do I help Toby figure this out?
It doesn't work until you describe it.
I know. Toby, any idea what this spell is?
I know exactly what it is. It's just a higher power than I can muster at this moment.
This is so Dragon Ball Z of you. Like I feel like you're like holding this the whole time. It's like a beam almost, and you're like pushing through it.
You know what would have been smart? If I just cast guidance on myself for a D4.
Toby, maybe you
It's
should
that-
cast guidance on yourself next time.
You'll remember in session 122. Don't worry.
Because if you remember, guidance gives you a +4, and that's what I can give you right now.
Bringing me to a 20.
I'll be free.
With Roulette expending a use of Flash of Genius for the day, you finally feel it snap, and you see Exarch Kuyutha's arms limply drop to his side, and he fully falls face forward to the ground.
I'll kind of catch him a little, so he
Okay,
doesn't smoke
slow
his
his
face.
fall telekinetically.
All 9th level spells and lower are dispelled from this guy. That's pretty cool.
Holy fuck!
And you see slowly
Good
his
spell.
golden scaled arm bend up and plant itself on the ground. And you see the very stone crunch and crack beneath his grip as he gets his other hand up and slowly stands tall. Freed from his planar binding, you see his form swell a bit to over 10 feet tall. And he breathes in. And the light around him seems to dim momentarily, and you see glowing cracks of gold shine from within him. And as he opens his eyes, they blaze with a golden energy. And drifting from the back of his form, spectral wings, but not in the form of draconic webbed wing material. They look feathered, like that of a golden canary.
You know Mordecai?
And he stands up straight and regal and says to you all,
You have done well, freeing me from this foul place. Would that I could aid you in whatever efforts pulled you here. But a greater purpose calls me to the Hells, Avernus, where I must remain vigilant against the escape potential of Tiamat under Bahamut's watch. As long as I am there, she will remain rigidly bound under care of the Archdevil Zariel. But I am in your service, or at least my boon is. To you, there is something to you.
Looking at you, Tobirama.
Touched by divinity in a way I cannot determine. But you have freed me with another divinity, power from the eternal judge. You shall receive a blessing of mine and your allies, the greatest extent of a mere charm I can bestow. I must flee from this place immediately, but gather to me and receive my boon.
He looks around to Toby, to Roulette, Telperion,
Glass guard?
and
Bear,
Fu-
glass
and
guard
Fury.
elites.
The glass guard will flock to him as well.
Sidle over.
Oh, we're gathering now. Oh,
Get in here.
hi, friend.
He inhales and then unleashes a blinding light at the ground that warms all of you. And you all are instilled with a charm of rest. All of you. Which can be used as an action to grant yourselves the benefit of a short rest.
Yeah.
Anytime over the next 8 hours.
My God.
Once expendable, a consumable charm that at any time in the next 8 hours can be used for an instantaneous short rest.
And you, what is your name?
Again, regarding you, Tobirama, who had freed him.
I am but a servant to my lord Kelimfor, but you may call me Toby.
Toby, the remains of my power here on this plane will be imparted to you in the form of a singular blessing that will ever accompany your form and be unquenchable in the opposition of any who seek to snuff it. I can offer the choice amongst 3 blessings. That of heroism, that of tempering, or that of resolve.
And because it's more fun to give transparent choice,
Crit loves being evil.
the blessing of
Primo.
heroism
Okay.
would permanently imbue you with the level 1 spell heroism. You would forever be under its effect. You would never have to concentrate on it, and it could not be dispelled. It gives various benefits, such as being immune to frightened and constantly trying to replenish you with temporary hit points.
Temps. Cool.
The boon of the blessing of tempering would impart to you his divine resistance against fire damage permanently. And the blessing of resolve would permanently boost your constitution score by 2.
Oh. Why don't you start there, Crit?
Okay.
That's so funny.
I think heroism is a fucking cool thing to potentially always have on. But it is slightly less potent. I have the medallion, which already helps me with some frightened things, or just charm things. Never mind that. What does an 18 con do for me? Certainly a lot. What does fire resistance do for me? Certainly a lot. I will take...
I need popcorn.
Resolve.
So it shall be gifted. And he just breathes through his nose. And there's no light. You just feel a divine spark awaken within you that will permanently boost your constitution by 2.
Ignore that.
Number
So
2.
you are welcome to click on your constitution score and modify it to include an extra 2. And usually it'll let you annotate that in some way, and you're welcome to say Blessing of Resolve. It might.
Healy boy ain't going down quick. Okay, your face said it all when you heard that one. It was so funny.
And as he looks around to you each and gives a nod, his spectral golden wings, ethereal translucent magic wrap around him, and with an unfurling, he just disintegrates into light.
That was pretty cool.
I didn't expect him to leave so soon. I was gonna ask him stuff, but oh well.
Didn't realize how amazing it would feel to disrupt her plans by letting someone like that go. Also, sucks for her to have him against her now in his own way. Obviously, he's got bigger fish to fry, but I wonder if the Platinum Dragon would... That's interesting.
How do we get in touch with him?
You know his name and his identity.
And where he went.
Perhaps future communication magic may avail a connection. But for now, in his absence, with the disappearing imps, suspicion you may or may not be able to lock this place down, and no longer needing time for a short rest, you're welcome to survey your surroundings and interact with what is available. Knowing that you just sort of interacted in this central space, I'll communicate a couple items that may catch your interest. Off to the far top left of the map, let me actually pull something up real quick. Toward the top left of the map, near part of the broken, fractured portion of this stone underground undercroft, you see some sort of abandoned metalwork station with some bits and pieces that may be of interest. To the far top right of the map, you see an alchemical station, still functional, with various vials, devices, paraphernalia available for interaction there. And then at the very top of the map, you see something that Telperion had seen before as you guys gathered closely. 3 floating, fixed in place but slightly buoying, large grimoires, open, a desk, and many mostly emptied bookshelves of information stored on the back wall where the scribe had originally been working. But you can tell that there's almost nothing on those shelves. But those are the areas that might catch your interest or eye. Who's interested in maybe interacting first, and where?
Metalworks.
Okay, Roulette will tackle you first.
Don't tackle me.
And we'll go ahead and move you and Daisy over in that direction as well. As you arrive here, you see the station of metalwork appears to have once been extensive, but dust patterns on the stone and the scarcity of equipment here indicate that this area has been abandoned, maybe even recently, packed away and deprioritized. On two of the tables in this vicinity, though, you find a smattering of dread iron weapons, a single dagger and a single dread iron lance, as well as a scimitar that's made from a different material, a vaguely familiar alien-looking dark metal. This strange scimitar has a thin strip of parchment wrapped around it that displays a single line of infernal text.
Anyone currently able to read some of this hellish language?
Good in 10 minutes, and also, let me see that. Because look at this, and I'll pull out my alien sword.
Very clearly of the same make and motif as that longsword you found a long time underneath Creatia when you guys were escaping back from Creatia toward Force Hollow. It's almost identical.
This is like
Yeah.
the onyx black.
I'm
Yes,
gonna-
it is onyx black, almost obsidian looking. It's mundane and alien, but primitive, but strange. And Telperion has previously carefully looked through that, maybe even with your help, Roulette, and determined it to be mundanely non-magical.
I do remember this because I think I recently gave that sword up to someone. Telperion, I think I gave it to you.
Yeah, it's in my quiver.
Yeah. I will stash this sword away with a note to revisit this language at some point later.
Yeah, if we had some time, I could do the ritual, but I don't want. I want to search first, and we can just pocket that for later. It probably won't change anything. But I might need to cast that if we're going to interact with these grimoires. Roulette, I don't want This area interests me, but I need your arcane help. I'm still a novice. Because I don't want to set something off, but because those are obviously magically suspended and held, could we dispel and break them out and steal them? Anything we can take from her is good.
Are you talking about her, the Podia over there?
Yeah, in the middle.
Oh, sure.
But also, I don't know if you're done at the metalworks. Just whenever you're finished. But
Those
also,
items seem to be a fairly comprehensive gathering of what's available over there. Dread Iron Dagger, Dread Iron Lance, an alien scimitar.
Dagger, lance, scimitar. I will add all of those. Thank you.
also, I need clarification on what was how many. Because I'm gonna give these to Toby. I'll just pass them off. The dread iron arrows. How many?
Go ahead and roll a d20 for how many he had left.
Ritter, super quick question.
7.
Sorry.
Okay, so he had 7 left in the quiver. And notably, they're well-crafted, wood-fletched arrows, but with a dread iron arrow head, specifically.
You need a dread iron dagger.
2 dread iron daggers.
Okay.
And the glass guard have stowed the dread iron pauldron and axe chain from the infernal simic as well.
Is it like an axe and a chain, or just a
Correct.
chain?
It is
Okay.
very similar to Talon Vitria's chain blade she used, but a larger great axe version of it.
Campaign 1. Got it.
Yes. Not magical returning, but yes.
Yes. This short rest moat, is this like a physical item that we are holding in our
It is a
pockets?
charm. It is a charm. It is a magic stored within you that you inexplicably have control to utilize.
I have literally no reason to wait to use that for the record. Should I just do it now? I can't do anything until I get that done.
Can I tell if there's like a time limit on this short rest moat in this charm?
I will say he will have somewhat communicated that in the course of it. It is 8 hours. So it has to be used within the next 8 hours.
I'm gonna use mine. And as I do it, one of the short rest features I have, which is I can recover a spell slot through Arcane Recovery when I short rest once per day. So I'll be doing that too. But yeah.
Okay, you're welcome to do that. As you trigger the Charm of Rest, a golden light surrounds you for a moment and then dims, and you are welcome to activate your short rest, your charm expended.
And I have 76 HP, so I'm going to use however many hit die to get to 106, and I'll tell you how many. I'll just deduct how many that is.
Okay.
I'm also going to grab water.
Action surge, second wind, whatever comes back to you on a short rest, you're welcome to. Yep.
I even got my quick toss out before.
I will go and I guess investigate these floating podia.
Podium,
just to, like,
podia. Yeah, third declension Latin.
It's podia because I
Yep,
did it. It was
you're
in a
right.
crossword recently. Just to see, like, I guess A, what the means of this is, and then B, like, are these podia like a integral part of this operation, or are they just like her being fancy?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. And then next I want to touch base with Jiri. With a 21, you're able to suss out that it is not necessarily arcanely known spellcraft. So it's not a given spell that is buoying these, but it is infernal magic keeping them floating. And should you try and grab them, you know you would not be able to move them from their current place. Similar application to like an immovable object, but able to still move. But they are tethered in place, not bound to magic sourced by the podium they're floating over. But there are 3 specific open grimoires that display infernal text on the open page.
I'm going to step back, and after I check the alchemy station, I will start casting comprehend languages so I could read what's on there. But we also have to decide, does anyone want, I have no magic to do it. If anyone thinks it's worthy to dispel that magic and try to steal them, I don't know if we even want them, but seriously, if we could take any knowledge from her, it's only an inconvenience.
Food for thought. And then you start investigating the alchemical station, but we haven't heard a little bit from Tim, so I want to get Jiri. What is Jiri prioritizing in this environment?
I'm gonna look at they're checking out that stuff, just like the bookshelves, and trying to find out if there's any like notes that Moira left behind.
Okay.
Anything
Go ahead and make a
that
general.
might pique my interest.
Go ahead and make a general your choice of perception or investigation. They may reveal different results based on what you choose.
Blue perception.
Okay. So without a careful casing of every shelf and every nook and cranny of these bookshelves, you more give it a cursory perception-based survey of their contents, and you identify a couple things that are left in these shelves. Number one, on the emptied bookshelf all the way to the left, you see a singular chain of a silver and black beaded necklace hanging down from a higher up shelf of one of the bookcases. And then on one of the bookshelves to the further right, you see a handful of scrolls, not yet fully packed up from the otherwise barren bookcase. And finally, you see a series of specifically 5 books arranged in an interesting pattern on the central third in bookcase, which is calling to you first.
I'll check out the chain first. The first one.
Okay. With Shaggy's assistance, you're easily able to get a little bit of height to get 10 feet up or so to where that chain was hanging off the ledge of a bookcase. And you find a topaz amulet at the base of the chain, laying on a sheet of paper displaying infernal annotation. This topaz amulet has a very specific glyph on it that you don't immediately recognize.
Does it look like any of the jewelry that we have? currently? Like specifically.
It does not. It is not identical to anything you guys have in your possession.
Okay. Does it seem magical in nature in any way? Like, do I sense that this is a magical item?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. You actually can use your charisma for Arcana checks.
Ooh.
So we'll stick with the same roll, but different modifier.
Woof. Yeah.
Looks
13.
like the first roll was, yeah, perfect, 13. You do think it's magical. And that glyph on it seems to be of the school of abjuration, but you're not sure what the function of this medallion is.
Sweet. I will pocket that and bring it down to the others in just a moment after I check out the scrolls.
Okay. All 3 scrolls are in very beautifully bound leather casings with brackets at the end. You're welcome to unveil them. All 3 of them are in infernal text. One of them specifically text, like language based, that triggers an effect that is not specifically a spell. The other 2, you're able to identify that they are spells, but without knowing infernal, you're not able to know what spell they are.
Yeah, not being able to read this, not Jiri's forte. Not that he's probably amazing at reading, so he's gonna grab those and fly them down to Toby and be like, "Yo, Toby, read these. Could be good stories in them."
Okay, you're welcome to go down and pass them off to Toby. Toby, you receive a couple scrolls. Do you know infernal?
No, and you'll see Toby is kind of like still like kind of standing more like here. Is very lost in thought. Be like, oh, I think Telperion should be able to read that here shortly. He said he was about to start working on that. Go let him see what these are.
All right, Telperion, here you go. I got some stories for you to read.
Okay. So you're past these scrolls during your investigative effort at the alchemical station, Telperion.
Oh yeah,
So
we gotta check
that real quick.
Yeah, and that sounds good. And we have to check the desk too. But I will have to after I do this sedge. I'll start casting it if I can get 10 minutes. But yeah, I'll search the alchemy area pretty thoroughly.
Okay. You see this station of alchemical interests has been less abandoned than what Roulette found at the metalwork station. Perhaps actually even prioritized recently by its users. Among the various paraphernalia of unique alchemical devices, you find 2 flasks of weird fire, as well as a small bit of parchment in infernal text. Common.
Jesus. All right.
You also find a singular potion of superior healing and a crate underneath of 30 hourglass vials. All of them empty.
Or are they?
Well, we'll take these to Roulette. I just want to deprive her of everything. So I'll take the crate. I'll put the potion in my bag, and I'll put the weird fire. I'll carefully hold those and take them to the bag of holding, so I don't want them anywhere but another space. Okay, so and there's nothing else to look through or peruse. That's all there is really.
Alchemically, the only thing else that catches your eyes are these massive vats, like 15-foot diameter spherical vats that each have a set of ladders and steps moving up to them with a contraption at their front of just vaporous gas, various colors in each of them. So you know that is related to the alchemical pursuits here, which you're welcome to go investigate at your leisure. But in this moment, Jiri shows up, thrusting a couple scrolls of infernal toward you.
All right. we need to be able to read what we're looking at. So I'm gonna go over the desk and hang out here and start casting comprehend languages ritualistically. I'll say as we go, I wonder if we should break those vats before we go, and then I'll start doing it.
Okay. Everyone make a perception check for me.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous. I'm not gonna get to finish this ritual. Oh, should I even make one?
No, we'll say you don't make one since you're focusing on casting.
Oh,
Nat-
I put
nat
Loaf back
20.
into existence though, because he's just been chilling in the Nether space. So I do want him because, and I wanted to keep him safe. So I just have him on my shoulder. And I'm not. I could say he does it, but I'm not too worried about it. But he's also. I just have him kind of keep in periphery with me now.
Hobirama and Roulette. If those imps flew somewhere to warn someone, for example, you know they would have had to make quite the trek back toward that intersection, and potentially the nearest available person is at the specialty holdings or further up the keep. That's like a 10-minute journey for them. But they started making that a little bit ago. Right now, you don't. You think you have at least 10 minutes, if not more, but you're suspicious you might not have even half an hour to remain here of your own volition. And currently, you're not hearing anything like echoing footsteps from the tunnel. So for now,
Wait.
you guys keep a careful eye out, and Telperion, you're welcome to continue.
Telekinetically, one of you just gets a map dropped in your hand, and I'll just we should start tracking how we're getting out of here, and someone could use the thing to call Zavar's name and see where he is.
Oh, we have a fucking interactable map of this place. I was about to ask if there was a back door. Looking at the map, is there a rear exit out of here that I can tell?
Not only is there not a rear exit, but also the chasm opening up below is nothing but empty earth that continues for who knows how long.
Underdark.
And the map actually had to adjust to incorporate it, as that's not a natural formation of this place.
Underdark.
And it was
maybe deeper.
And it was not something Jiri had experienced previously in this environment. But over the course of 10 minutes, Telperion, your magic goes off. Roulette, are you interested in using the map to suss out Zavar's location as indicated?
I think this is a kind of a group choice because we have 10 minutes of tracking him, and then we can't use it again. But I think this span of 10 minutes we have right now before folks get back here might be the only span of 10 minutes where we could comfortably look at it.
Well, I'm opting out of that because I have a bunch of infernal text to read now. But I will say we need to know how we're getting out of here and to him. So if any one of you in this 10 minutes can track where the path we want to take is, then to at least the throne room, like how do we get out of here stealthily? And then I go read some texts.
I will, if Roulette is willing,
Always.
offer to focus on the map and let you go help Telperion try and understand what he's about to start reading. And I want to kind of spend at least 5 minutes just staring at the map, moving it, trying to, as a, I'm thinking pseudo survival, very different environment, but to start get a bearing of my surroundings so that I'm less hindered by path choices should we need them.
I'm going to say with the map's magic, no check required. You're able to get a cursory understanding of the layout of Talonreach Keep and how to ascend most efficiently toward its top terrace and throne room that is off of it. In order to do that, you'll have to pass specialty holdings, go up through the tunnel leading out of the basement cellar, through the Hall of Statues, through the lower floors, which is sort of a singular map, through the upper floors, which is a singular map, out the terrace and into the throne room. You think doing that could be a gauntlet of survival, likely. You know, it's probably well defended and such. If you're fully invisible that you guys have done before, maybe you have a chance of getting through fairly unfazed. But depending on how well guarded it is, the Forsaken Winds might have quite a show of ascending through this keep rather than testing your luck outside the keep, where likely sentries on Wyvern, spell writing horse, and otherwise might be even more dangerous, preventing entry into the keep. You are in the heart of the beast, which is dangerous, but the whole city is, intended to prevent people from getting where you are. But you get the lay of the land, and I can even show you maps later to indicate positioning.
I'll likely be looking over Toby's shoulder as this is happening, as I cannot read Infernal, and I will wait for Telperion to tap me when a math comes up. And I will probably whisper to Toby, I'll take out the dart, the spell storing dart, and I'll be like, I've got...
How many more?
5 charges in here.
Okay. And we have several potions as well. I have
Of
2 potions of invisibility. I've got a potion of greater invisibility. I've got a spell scroll of greater invisibility. I think I have scrolls of invisibility. I don't know if that's true.
I guess, Toby, it's not... It's more of... How many glass guards are there? 5 of them? There are 4 of us. 5 of them.
We can necklace someone.
I guess we can necklace someone.
We can hold someone too for longer than the... Yeah.
Jiri, in the back of your mind, while they're deliberating and Telperion's comprehending languages, Hyperavel's urgently insisting in your mind,
Jiri, I don't mean to be impatient, but we must consider the words of those secrets we learned from the scribe's lore form. I'm not able to push into your memory in the same way you are. I won't be able to learn those secrets until you reflect on them.
He's pressuring you. I'm not actually pressuring you, but he is urgently insisting for you to read those bits of information you learned, desperately wanting some semblance of information and understanding of his circumstance and yours.
Alright, so Jiri will kind of enter into his own mind and recall them and kind of read them along with Hyperavel. Together, we'll kind of read them.
Perfect. You're welcome to read that email I sent you. And Michael Jacoby, I also sent you an email for the contents of what you had bound in your spell book. You're welcome to read that when you interact with your spell book again. And it is in infernal text. Your magic complete.
I'll probably add that to the list of things I'm about to read.
Comprehend language enacts, and you have that capability now.
Okay.
What are you thinking about first?
Okay, first things first. Let's get the alchemy thing out of the way, because it's probably simple. What does the alchemy note say?
The alchemy note says...
I'm writing this in red on my notes, even though I'm writing it.
It describes various equations and formulas that dictate a recipe for Weirdfire Flask.
Gee.
And of note, there's some annotations and subscripts throughout the page that maybe for the first time gives some version of clarity to its magic. That it's taking normal alchemist's fire and infusing it, instilling it with the very essence of chaos from the plane of fairy, the Feywild.
Gee.
Which causes it to poison individuals burned by it, as well as catch and spread on objects that aren't usually flammable that you guys have seen before. And so you're welcome to add to your inventory your flask of weird fire is a functional item. You're able to add those two that you picked up, as well as just a custom item you're welcome to create that's not innately magical, but recipe for weird fire flask.
Sweet. Amazing. Roulette, you can like that one. I'll read the topaz necklace text next that Jiri showed us what he got.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
This-
and I found this too, and it's got a weird symbol on the front of it. Go ahead, read it. Tell me around.
So the parchment that it was laying on says, well, it actually has additional annotation and script describing various comparisons between the standard magics found on items such as this contained in the amulet, as well as the similar passive magics of observed Divinor. And with that, and identifying the glyph that Jiri said, this is a uncommon item, Amulet of Proof Against Detection and Location.
So fucking sick. Telperion says that. Oh my god. This is amazing. Oh, that's so handy.
I feel
Jerry,
really
hang on to that amulet.
guilty right now that I don't have locate object prepared for infiltrating the keep to find Rome's vase. Oh, it wouldn't have worked. Never mind. Wouldn't have worked. Divinor.
That is the point, actually. Oh, fuck. Should we be looking for the vase
I
here?
fucking
All right,
forgot. I feel like a bad friend.
Toby, think about that. Should we look for the vase here? I gotta keep reading. I want to look at the desk specifically, not the 3 grimoires yet, but like, is there any notes on the desk? Any mundane books? What am I seeing?
Yep. So you take a look at the desk, and there's various infernal papers and notations scattered across the surface. Most of it either indiscernible in terms of like wingdings style, like just unknowable information that Moira's binding to paper, not even all infernal text, but otherwise fairly useless information to you. But you identify that there is a single sliding drawer in the center underneath the desk, and a large drawer on each side, the left and right side of the desk, and those two are tightly closed with a glowing red glyph on them.
Do I recognize the glyph?
You think, actually, make an Arcana check with advantage because you know Infernal.
Oh, sweet. Oh my god, I rolled 2 6s. What kind of, is this history? Or Arcana?
Arcana.
Ooh, 10. Now
10 is meeting the bare minimum DC, especially because you've seen this before in Roulette's own variation of it. Both of these are sealed with Arcane Lock.
Hey, Roulette, how do you undo an arcane lock?
Arcane key. And I immediately look away.
No, actually, that wasn't just a rhetorical question. She's got 2 locked drawers. We should pillage the fuck out of those. Is it going to take too much magic to do that?
Arcane lock, I mean, I can do like just a dispel magic on it, should get it right away, because Arcane lock is 2nd spell level, I think. I
Can
just
you
have-
dispel magic the whole table? Because if that even has a shot of dispelling those books and how they're being held, that even one spell, if you could get all of them, that'd be incredible. I don't know.
Why can't we just do Arcane Smash? And Jiri like draws his sword out. I
Toby
could break this
will-
desk up.
Oh,
Hang on.
Smash up the desk.
Hang on.
Also, as of note, the central sliding drawer is not Arcane Locked, just for your recollection.
I pulled that one open.
Is it arcane trapped?
I used
It
Kyrie
has-
to pull it.
It has a singular sheet, not randomly scrap material parchment, just a singular sheet that lists the current residents of Specialty Holdings.
Oh my god, I read it out loud right now.
Buy,
Wait,
sell.
is there somebody named Wretch on it?
What?
There is not. Telperion will quickly and soon tell you that there is not. But
Gotta find that guy.
I will rapid fire these cells. Cell 1 is
Mordecai.
Vermeil. Cell 2 empty.
Weird name.
Jesus.
Cell 3 Magister Damien Hart.
What?
I knew it! I knew he was gonna be in there!
Cell 4
What the fuck?
Talon Byron Bryce.
You.
Cell 5
Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh my god. don't. If it, I swear to God, if it's his son.
Failed Simic.
Oh.
Cell 6, rations. Cell 7, Davrin. Cell 8, deceased. Cell 9, empty. Cell 10, Anka, Prowlfoot. Cell 11, deceased. Or I'm sorry, that one actually says empty. And cell 12, Yoroi.
Theoretically, we should free all of them. Theoretically.
Oh, these
Not
maps. We gotta go right now.
Well, hang on, we haven't finished yet, but yes, we do.
No. We gotta go now.
As
Wow.
Telperion was reading
Bye.
out names, Toby was turning around to target the desk and cast Dispel Magic, removing all spells of 3rd level or lower on it.
Oh, thank you, Toby. I was gonna do that.
Let me check something real quick.
Here's out.
Let's do
Jerry,
desk
where are you going? Why are you in a hurry, Jerry?
Okay.
Hurry up. Catch up with me.
Toby Rama, you cast the spell, and you see both arcane locks puff out.
Still rotate.
You open the drawers?
I Kyera them open.
Okay.
I
And then
also
peek
step
in.
back.
Let me get back to that section.
Someone stop Jerry. Where is he going?
Just dash.
Will accompany the Lord Magus. You all stay here. And the glass guard will accompany you, Jiri.
They can try their best to keep up, but Jerry's out of there.
They will try. They will hurry to make sure you are not alone in unfamiliar territory, though not too unfamiliar to you. So we'll catch up with you in a moment. But Telperion, held within the... Which one do you open first? The left
The
or the
little
right?
one.
They're
Left.
both large on each side.
Left.
The left one has a singular lead box with a spell tag wrapped around it that is wrapped in a way that it would break the tag if and when the box is opened. The top of the box displays a word of arcane illusory script that says just Mastool.
MASTU. Oh, wow. Wait, do I know what that means?
Was that the
Wait, I've seen
Skull
words.
Lord's name?
There is a third Skull Lord that you know was investigating something up in the mountains and drew Moira and Talon Banbar Bar's attention.
So it's a gift for him, or a spell to be activated upon him, or...
Or his writ?
It's to clarify, it's a box that contains contents within. This is just illusory script that is annotating Mastool for this
And it
box.
has a spell, so a spell will go off if we open this.
It would seem so.
And
Or at least this tag would be broken upon opening the box.
I'm gonna hand that to Roulette and open the other drawer.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade.
You can grab that and stow it. The other one is almost identical. It is a lead box with a spell tag wrapped around it in a way that would break if it's opened. And the top of the box displays the arcane script Heart.
HART.
H-A-R-T.
Oh my god. Okay, pocket that. This is fucking freaky. Okay. And then I want to look at what's the grimoires are turned to. Actually, before I do that big one, I look behind me at the bookshelves, and I think you said there was a couple books there.
Yeah, so Jiri had collected a chain with that piece of parchment annotating it basically as an amulet of proof against detection and location, as well as a couple spell scrolls. And now the bookshelves are completely empty, except for these random 5 books left on the central bookcase. when all other books and paraphernalia seem to be fully removed. You're not sure why these are there. There's one at the top, 2 at the sides, and 2 at the bottom right sides. They sort of are arranged perfectly symmetrically, 2 here, 1 at the top, sort of in the shape of a pentagram. And with comprehend language, I'll tell you what each of them say. At the bottom left, written in infernal on the spine, is the title Blood and Lies. The bottom right is written in Sylvan, Methods in Madness. The one on the left side, left upper side, is written in Elvish, and it says, it reads Splendid Shadows. The one on the right is written in Common, and it says Potent Decrees of the Humans - Religions and Pantheons. And the one at the very top, written in not just Primordial, but specifically Orin Primordial, A Monarch's Path.
Do they look adhere to the thing? Can I inspect them?
What?
Like, can I detect if I want to see if this is going to be a trap if I take them off?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
This
What?
just went up. Is that proficiency? Right. +9. Let's go. I rolled a 7, so 16?
Close inspection of these books, they're hovering like half an inch above the shelf. They're not sitting on the shelves. And actually, you see that they're buoying, almost like they're fixed in place very similarly to the Grimoire's magic. And they're arranged in a very particular pattern. You think there's a puzzle here.
Yeah. Does the middle look vacant in any way?
It certainly does. Where these lines would, in theory, have a concentric center is perfectly where one of the shelves is. Almost like something could perfectly go there or appear there.
Okay, I turn around. Roulette, there's a puzzle right there. These are what the books say, and also I have to read the 3 in the middle. And also, what's Toby? Toby, what are you up to?
I have been shaken out of my reflection by Jiri running away. He's like, okay, we gotta hurry up. And so he will come over and be ready to cast guidance on anyone who needs it.
Well, be ready to cast guidance, and then also, what the fuck? Where's Jerry? I don't know why he ran off, and we can't be split. So if he gets in trouble,
The
we have to
specialty
hurry. I guess.
holdings is on our way out of here, so and that's where
Okay.
he's going.
Okay. Okay. So I'm actually gonna look. Maybe this is part of the puzzle, and I'll look at what the books in the middle say. The 3 rotating ones.
Okay. The 3 grimoires. This is not information that's magically imprinted into your brain, so I'm going to read these table level, unless you guys would prefer to read them table level. One of you, maybe each or something. Do you pick the left, the middle, or the right to read first?
Oh, we're going left, right, middle.
Left, right, middle.
I'll just Telperion. I don't need to read it, but Telperion will read it aloud to these guys. So that's the
Okay. The left one. The open page is infernal text, but it's preceded by nothing but the lingering edges of hundreds of ripped out pages previously, perhaps bound or organized into a lore form or otherwise organized. But the short paragraph of infernal text on the single available page reads, "Therefore, do you want to read this, or would you like me to read this?"
I'll read it. Therefore, I have incorporated Therefore, I have incorporated the remains of my dread iron findings into the scribe and have regrettably concluded that the X4 series is the furthest I can take the materials of this plane. The black mithril used by select denizens of the Shadowfell holds esteemed merit on that plane, but it cannot exist here in the prime material, no matter my efforts. It is inevitably dulls to a mundane alien metal with No notable properties. The Mistress of Pain was originally rather helpful in learning the Black Mithril ritual and twisting its sequences for the creation of Dread Iron here on Ahra, but it is not stable enough for the transfiguration into Celestial as I once hoped, nor is it sufficient for reliably binding, capital B, divinity to its form akin to the emblems of the Sundering, as I learned from the failure of my specimen paragraph. Alas, the remaining pages of this record shall remain unrealized indefinitely until I ascertain some other inspired function for Dread Iron.
Grimoire on the right next.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this? Does someone else
You
want to
hit
read
it.
this?
Someone else can read it.
Okay. Since Roulette and Toby are in the vicinity, would either of you like to read this out loud at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take this one.
Okay, you take this one. We'll let Toby do the last one. On the right, the open page is preceded by, similarly, nothing but the lingering edges of hundreds of ripped out pages. The infernal text on the single available page details a recent breakthrough in arcane biochemistry and its subsequent tests and trials on creatures of hellish origin. Roulette, it is uniquely fitting that you read this section.
Why is it about hot people?
It is also long, so I apologize. It begins with, as unbelievable. So that second paragraph on the page.
Oh,
Wait for you to do this in Roulette's accent.
we're not doing that.
As
As unbelievable-
unbelievable.
As unbelievable as it is to behold progress in my own experimental application of the Guardian Project's simulated eugenics now rivals even that of my Celestial breakthrough. For so long in my attempts to bypass the immutability of devils and demons, I had fixated on changeling blood as the optimal test subject due to its own inherent immutability against unwelcome stimuli, as well as its extreme autonomous adaptability, even past that of devil or demonkin. But in studying the blood sample I extracted from that unassuming human girl, I had a metanoia sufficient to color my prior understanding childish. I failed to see that changeling blood should not be treated as a test subject, a lock fit for fiddling. It is a key, capital K-E-Y, and the girl's blood, unquestionably simic in nature, though of an entirely different and brilliantly novel application, provided a delicate, stable, and reliable formula for integrating changeling biology with that of another donor. In her case, a changeling chimera compound stored safely within her otherwise human blood. The delicacy of arcane craft within her indicates to me that the architect themselves was somehow responsible for her creation many years ago. I will apply this new understanding immediately to new infernal simic application before presentation to my darling Duke for his consideration. Trial 1. Failure. The blood stored for my fugitive changeling pet was not sufficiently fresh for integration into a harsh infernal bioenvironment, and the Wyvern donor simply fouled in the process. So the Wyvern donor sample fouled in the process. Infernal subject did not survive, but will remanifest in Cania within a matter of months. Trial 2. Failure. The changeling fugitive's blood sample was at least sufficient for divination magic, suitable to find another changeling in the city of the same bloodline, a sibling perhaps, discovered within the higher ranks of the Red Plumes. He will be well cared for in specialty holdings. I must maintain careful control over such a source of fresh specimen. Failure was a result of rushed application on my part. Even intellect such as mine proves vulnerable to eagerness and impatience. Subject survived and has been prepped for retrial. Trial 3. My love, my Duke, let it be recorded here that I have succeeded now in both endeavors that brought me to this plane. The knowledge of celestial transfiguration, and the capability to bypass the immutability of any living creature. The Chain Devil has been fully integrated with Wyvern bio-characteristics. RIP! The immutability of our kind, or changelings, or demons, or anyone for that matter, will no longer prevent us from twisting, capital T, any form to suit our needs for better or worse. We shall make you whole again, my love, and better for the wait. Arch of the Eighth be praised.
And I need to step out for a quick bio break to make sure Declan's all good, and then we'll come back to Grimoire 3, as you guys have potentially just learned a small thing about specialty holdings that caused Jiri to run away. We'll come back here in 5 or so minutes.
What?
Your blood.
Yeah, I'm looking at your blood paragraph again.
What? I feel like I wasn't absorbing it as I was reading it.
Are unquestionably simic in nature.
I mean, we could still question it.
Entirely different and brilliantly novel application. A changeling chimera compound stored safely within her otherwise human blood. The delicacy indicates to me that the architect was somehow responsible for her creation many years ago. Bro, you were grown in a test tube?
Yeah.
Oh
I guess
my
so.
God.
I'll just keep
Right.
bypass.
I'll be back.
GDL has been fully integrated.
Truest.
He's true.
Oh, Chris, I just texted you. Anyway, I could switch. I feel kind of bad for asking, but I feel like I didn't decide right.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
Pick a different spell.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna stew on it forever, so might as well say something now.
Okay.
Pick on
Yeah,
with Death Ward.
that's totally fine.
So wait, what are you going with?
Death Ward. I'm just
Nice.
gonna use it. I don't think I'm ever gonna cast Power Circle, so I'd rather have something I'm like actually gonna use.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a fair call.
I know it's kind of lame to go back on it, but
No,
I
that's
feel like in the long run I'll feel better about it.
That is totally good.
Lame.
Yeah.
They both were described so well, like as being similar.
Toby's got to be careful, or he's going to turn into a dwarf with how chunky he is for how short he is.
Wait, I've been dying to know. What's your HP?
120.
My God. What is your con now?
18.
18?
If I, the only way I can fail a concentration check is if I roll a nat 1. And even still, that would get me to 10, but it's a nat 1, so it rules supreme. I have a +9.
I need a +1 to con.
Yeah, my con
You
is
have
not
to-
great. My con is +2.
Whoa, that's what mine is, but I just need a half feet and then I'll be +3.
Well, my con state is fine, but I've never been the healthiest fighter.
Incapacitated condition does break concentration, so I can break your concentration that way, or just knock you unconscious.
Well, wait, you can fail. You could, like, I took a disintegration ray. I didn't even roll my thing because I was like, I definitely dropped detect
That's
magic.
true. Yeah, if the incoming damage is high enough, half the damage is still a high
Yeah,
DC
yeah.
to hit sometimes. So yeah. But yeah, for your minimum DC 10 checks, yeah, you're very assured to make those.
Which is like
Plus
the most
9.
common one.
And if I have my focus circlet on, it can be as high as +12.
Mm.
Also, just like having a lot of HP, it's fucking nice, especially for you who, like, if you're down, like, you're the one we need going down last.
Yeah.
So it's like really weird for you to be a cleric with that much health, but that's fucking awesome.
Also, Tim, for what it's worth, I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse, or about your Death Ward choice.
Yeah.
If we know we're gonna go fight Moira or something, in the new rules, I don't know if this will happen before new rules, I'll have Circle of Power. So like on days we know we're fighting a spellcaster, that could be something I prepare. But I feel like I've
that'll
gotten
be cool.
almost nothing out of Death Ward this campaign, and if you're able to churn through those a lot more reliably.
I think it would be cool because, like, okay, say we're gonna short rest and I have 2 spell slots left. I could just like Death Ward, people. There's like something I can do with
Yeah.
like leftover slots that like, no, I have no other way of using those for anything else right now.
It's pretty cool. Something that, like, I think it's interesting, like, when can you turn a spell slot into something that's going to come in handy later in investment? That's kind of cool. Yeah. Also, like, could make us a lot, like, it could be really fun in combat for us to be a little bit more like, well, we got fucking Death Ward on.
Exactly. And also thinking about like our NPCs if they come along with us.
Oh my god.
Like,
Yeah, Telpyrian would love you putting that on Kinsala.
right, like Kinsalo and Kellen are like prime targets for that because are more likely to die than any of us, I feel like.
I love it. I love it all.
Roulette's a test tube, baby.
Dude,
Is that what that means?
big fucking
It's
rev.
like literally a test tube.
I
Christ.
was created by our Lord and Savior, the Architect.
I'm also so interested in solving this puzzle because I kind of am scared or hopeful if we reveal it, we could get like some blood back. Like, what's behind? Is the Divinor vase behind this thing? Like, she would have a secret puzzle. Like, and Jerry just ran out of the room, but like, I don't know if we can flash solve it or something. But after I read this last one, that's an intellectual pursuit I'm still kind of stuck on.
Yeah, Jiri saw a key name and booked it immediately.
And also,
so.
Tim, I keep strategizing with them, and none of that is me like wishing you had played it different, just like wanting to react to pressure of your character.
I'm borderline interested in an inspiration point going to Jiri for, hey, even when we should stick together, this thing compelled me to go act in my character's motivation. Like, I love that you ran out on that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I didn't anticipate or plan for it per se, and it will have a meaning. And I really think it's cool that you did that. So I agree that even just talking through, hey, I don't think I could do this thing, I want to do that thing, has no bounds on, Jiri doing what he needed to do is awesome.
Agreed.
Narratively, it's just even juicier.
Yeah, gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a poop.
So as we resume, and before we get into Jiri a little bit, there is a third grimoire, the one in the center. Toby Rama, would you like the honors?
Absolutely.
Okay. This open page of this grimoire is preceded by some 24 sheets that show a series of schematics of a disassembled vase and metallurgic blueprints indicating a reformation into the shape of a breastplate.
He's fucking
Various infernal annotation indicates the vase to be of an organic metal, Divinor, which was recovered from some ancient spirit of nature during a mission originally targeting a Divinor medallion held by a young human named Toby Rama, thanks to intel provided by the Duke. A series of equations and arcane formulas spill across the previous few pages, ending in a final excerpt of infernal text on the most recent page.
So will you?
It begins with "I am in select company." But what was your question?
Will you? Because it seems like you were reading it. Will you include the preamble of what you read too? Because that's super.
Yeah.
Note take that.
It's just a preamble. This is what it says. I'm just describing the scenario leading up to it. But series of schematics and stuff. But it begins, "I am in select company."
I am in select company of only the famed witch of Moriah from the days of the Sundering, in achieving what otherwise only divinity has ever accomplished. I have created Celestial, or rather, a delightfully profane approximation of fiendish origin that I shall hereby name Hellestial. The Divinor vessel recovered from the nature spirit proved the king's intel correct. Divinor alone appears uniquely sufficient material for reshaping and transfiguration into celestial caliber material. My dread iron attempts over the years to achieve the perfect metal for celestial transfiguration were unsuccessful, but perhaps I will find some future use for the dread iron project. From the Divinor vase, I have fashioned for Zavar a fair form of armor. It gleams with the emblematic reflective sheen of Celestial, though with a deliciously crimson hue, and grants substantial protection above the materials of all the planes. It does not boast the same self-repairing properties displayed by the Arcanite's mysterious Celestial plate, but it radiates heat that threatens any who damage its protection. Nonetheless, after all this time enduring the authority of mere mortals, I am justified in trusting in the word of this most surprising man, Zavar. Perhaps I may never know his source of knowledge about the days of the Sundering, but he was correct about Divinor, and can be presumed to hold truth as well about the Dark God's final resting place as he promised. so I shall continue to play along for as long as he offers value. Ironically, it is only after we appeared to have lost a partner in Belladonia and its associated access into Eastern Eridon that we achieved this recent proof of concept. But we, or I, if necessary, will contrive new avenues for locating the Dark God's fallen body once I commune with my darling Duke. Once we are able to locate such a massive Divinor the size of a city, the legions of Cania shall be fitted with an arsenal of Helisteel.
Oh.
Whoa.
Should you care to indulge, before a puzzle, there's also one more bit of infernal text you have access to.
Is that my book? Or, yeah, okay. I'll pull out my spell book. And I will read
There
it.
was also a piece of parchment that I think
Yeah.
wasn't read yet.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Where's my note sheet? Which was it?
It was wrapped around the alien scimitar that
Oh,
Roulette passed you.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Roulette
single line, and it says, "Future consideration may return to form after a full day's time within the Shadowfell."
Black mithril swords if they are returned to the Shadowfell. Interesting.
I just
It's
drop it down the pit, see what happens.
Huh.
Come back
It's
in a bit.
only- Man, I feel like all of these things are revelations and they all impact one another. And we have to take them all in a flash of time.
Indeed.
Okay. Now I'll check I just want to skim the tech. Well, I'll just read look at the spellbook to see if it's relevant in this moment.
Go ahead and read your email aloud. Table level knowledge that you were able to capture a snippet of a page. It's almost like a page of the lore form fell at an angle into your book and was pressed. So you only get like a corner of this page's contents, but it reveals the paragraph you have there.
Alongside my beloved betrothed, who has had to endure far more than I in relinquishing so much of our quintessence to come here to the mundane prime material and avoid prying eyes. Our immortal humanoid forms are feeble and fragile compared to what we claimed in Cania, but we are more than enough for the fools of this world. I shall see to my tasks in both the far east and northwest, where the secrets of mortal science and cursed divinity demand my attention and study. My Duke assures me that my pursuits to surpass demonkind in the blood war, rival divinity itself, and twist the forms of any ally or enemy, shall formally earn my position at his side under the approval of his great father. Someday together we will rule Cania and all the 9 hells and beyond. Kind of an undertext here. Alas, my love, my Duke is called sooner than expected to the southeast, where he seeks his father's lost treasure after it was so carelessly discarded by the Lord of Lies in the war these mortals refer to as the Sundering. After being held for almost 2 millennia by the Great Worm, who now holds vigil across hellish influence on this plane, the omen has passed to the Beast King of the Southern Nation. Is he going after the Beast King? Even in my darling Duke's lowly mortal form, he enacts with precision his long-calculated plan to work his way into the closest confines of the Beast King, so that he may remove from him the arch of the Eighth's most precious creation. I shall, of course, never utter my love's true name even in writing, but I will indulge a vow of support for his mortal form. Hail the hidden king of the south. Hail Ozai. That was the Beast
Fire
King.
Lord?
No, that's
That was
the
the-
one seneschal we didn't go interact with.
Correct. Yeah.
The Seneschal of Sea was named Ozai.
Yeah. Going through of Omen Flame. I'm looking at the journal.
Flip to the back of my book and I write to and cast sending to Minerva. And I'll write in Moira's lab, going well. Warn Mordecai now. Ozai is the Duke. Do this subtly. Tell Mother. Don't be heard. Urgent.
Your text, your ink seeps into the page, and its magic is transferred.
Telperion is doing stuff in. Okay.
Will. Those are the only two words that come through, and they're like separated in time. She's having trouble parsing through the information, but she says, "I will."
Okay.
The
Thank
Golden
you.
Great Worm made a pact with the Lord of the Nine Hells in order to gain his jeweled necklace, the Omen of Hellflame. What did that just say in your book again?
Because he's trying to get back the Dragon Balls.
Yeah,
thing.
but so is the Duke the son of the Lord of the Nine Hells? Is that...
Hidden King of this. Hang on. Wait, hang on. We don't need to know that right now.
Yeah.
We have a friend going and a puzzle to solve if we'd indulge, and anything else to grab. I don't even know if there's anything left to grab.
I would
Right.
warn Mordecai personally with Ascending if...
Minerva can handle it. I think this isn't even urgent compared to what we are in. We've done our part by this, and I don't want you to expend any more magic
Okay.
before we fight the king, who is in Hellesteel. So we have to decide on the way what that means for how we fight him. Fire damage for sure.
Radiates heat that threatens any who damage its protection. Because the Arc Knight was able to use up the plate in order to fuel things. So when we target Zavar with potent stuff and he
Should we-
chooses to protect.
We're pausing on that. Telperion, you said there's a puzzle on this wall or something?
Yeah. So, and what I'd love to do, and because also I'd love for Tim to get to be involved, and also,
I'm gonna switch to Tim soon, but yeah, what
I
set
will-
the stage for you guys' next effort?
yeah, I'm gonna go full brain blast because like the longer I've looked at this, the more it's like the mounting urgency of like it's just freaky. And so I'm gonna just explain how the puzzle works or what the books are saying, like the titles, the languages. I'm gonna tell Roulette that one on top, that's Jiri's friend's mystery and initial Jiri story. This one here, the Feywild one, maybe that's how she learned how to make the chaos magic, the mad energy from. It's in Sylvan. The Elvish one is something shadows.
Splendid shadows.
I don't know, and I don't
It's
know what that
written
means.
in Elvish.
But I know, and I don't know. Should we take them off? I don't know. We can put something on, or if we do the right thing, maybe something will appear here. But anyway, I want to go into like cluing them into the puzzle, so now we can transition away and we can maybe think through tools in the meantime.
Perfect. Yeah, there's 5 floating tomes, different novels, stories, or excerpts on some dissertation on information from various planes and various languages on that wall. Because of the way they're floating and buoying, Roulette, who had investigated the grimoires, you think these two will be immovable, like the grimoires. Food for thought as you consider. But Jiri, we resume with you, who have escaped Moira's lab, and your movement speed is typically 40, right? Or are you on Shaggy full dashing? Oh, and you're muted.
I'm on Shaggy full dashing. We are making our way
Okay.
to the prison cells. I know the path.
Yep, you do. The Glassguard elites will be sprinting behind you, covering 80 feet around, but that will not nearly keep up with you dashing on Shaggy. So as you zoom through the hallways, the corridors alone in this space that once held you captive, over the course of easily half the time usual, in a matter of minutes, you're able to zoom past that main corridor and you arrive at the intersection where you know you need to go left to continue towards specialty holdings. What are you thinking as you zoom in that direction, knowing that at bare minimum, there is a mage and some guards posted in that vicinity?
Jiri is hoping that backup is on the way, so he is going to continue to rush down that straight hallway.
Okay. Another minute or so is all it takes to close most of the distance until you see the open mouth and light of torchlight flickering in the distance of the specialty holdings area. Do you full dash into there?
No, but do I see both individuals? Since I'm assuming their area is lit and I'm kind of in the darkness, so do I see individuals in the specialty holding area?
I'll put you. Actually, I'll pull everyone momentarily to this map, which you guys have seen before. And we'll say you're off screen, but functionally, you're on Shaggy, and you see only one mage posted at his desk, but you know behind the wooden door to the left is a knight and a pair of guards as well. In your approach, as you slow for a moment, you can see him in the far distance because he's lit and you are not. Approaching closer would require a stealth check if you wanted to be unseen, but in this moment, you have eyes on him, maybe 120 feet away from you.
All right, on Shaggy, I will cast the eye bite spell, so that both of us are infused with magical energy that allows us
What
to
does that
put
What does that look
individuals-
like? I don't know that we've seen you do that yet.
It's a similar thing to previous spells where like Jiri's eyes burn black like the essence of Hyperival, almost like Hyperival's eyes are peering through my eyes. Similarly with Shaggy, Shaggy grows a pair of eyes as well, on like the front of his little carpet near the tassels. Kind of like I'm imagining almost like a boa constrictor, you know, like Arbok in Pokemon, and like the eyes on it as it like rises up.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this enchanting, like when you make eye contact with him, you're like mesmerized and pulled into a trance. And I'm gonna use the sleep version of that spell.
Okay. He will make a wisdom save. Are you and Shaggy simultaneously using the sleep function, or is just one of you using it on the guard at this point?
Since we have extra time to just make sure we get the one that is in view, we will both use it on this guy in case he saves one of them.
Okay. You will need to approach to 60 feet in order to trigger the magic, or to target him with him. So as you zoom, even though you're in the air, he hears the whooshing of sound moving in his direction, and you see him clamber out of his chair defensively and see you arrive by the time you hit him 60 feet away. He will make his save, which I need to flip to a different screen real quick. Sorry, not different screen, but on my D&D Beyond. That is a whiz save.
Yes. Bitch. He saves the first one.
He saves the first one, but is Shaggy doing that simultaneously?
Yes, both of us aiming for the same
That's
target.
insane.
Okay, so he will have to succeed on 2 of these.
That's so cool.
He resists the first one, repelling its magic, but the second one slams him, and you see his eyes go black and start to steam as he slumps over, his eyes still open, but falling asleep.
We will stay waiting patiently in that hallway for anyone else to appear and use it again on anybody else. So if I have time to ready an action, we would both ready our action to use it on the next individual to appear.
The slump alone does not seem to be warranting alarm of the people in the other room. Over the course of 6 to 12 seconds, no one else arrives, and that individual continues to sleep. But about 3 turns of your spell have now gone past.
Okay, then I will quickly use I'd probably do this sooner than waiting for too long, but I have the cantrip Steam Illusion, and so I will approach 30 more feet and I will make a louder sound of like a collapse, like somebody like banging into something and like being like, "Oh, ow," and then fall over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
heart attack sound, like, "Oh, my heart," and then oh.
Okay. With that, the following round, you will hear a scuffle of noise from the room over, and the first individual to step out is a Durastian soldier. And the door is open, and you're able to see within an additional Durastian soldier and a knight.
Shaggy and I are both gonna blast the knight.
Okay, both targeting the knight. He will get 2 saves. That'll be a fail. And that will be a fail. You see the knight a little past the soldier that first opened the door fall over and slump to the ground, his eyes becoming black and steaming at the edges. But both of the other soldiers are able to pull crossbows, and they will both fire at you immediately. 2 attacks coming your way. Which I need to pull this up. And they will both functionally use their bonus action to aim, giving them advantage on these strikes. First attack is from the guy way closer to you, sort of surprised in your arrival, and misses. And the second, also, I think, gonna miss with a 14. So both of them fearfully shoot their triggers.
Shaggy at one, me at the other one.
Okay. Fail. And fail. All 4 individuals guarding this environment are currently asleep, but only for the duration of your concentration on the spell, of which you only have 5 turns left.
God damn it. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go start hacking at them, their dead bodies. I have 5 turns left.
You do.
Realistically, would Jiri know? Yeah, he doesn't have any rope. Fuck. Alright, this is what I need roulette for. I'm just gonna go over to this guy and using Shaggy to give. Oh, actually, I don't really need advantage, right? He's like
They are
incapacitated.
prone,
right?
incapacitated. You automatically have advantage, and your first
Is it an
strike on
auto crit?
incapacitated. It is an auto crit, but damage
Yeah.
will wake them.
So also, can he restrain or can he grapple while they're prone so they don't? So you have advantage on what? I don't know.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
advantage on both, right?
Yeah, you do have advantage. Do you target
You have
the
any spell
mage?
slots
It's
left?
looking like first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to kill this guy first.
Okay, go ahead and roll your first attack with advantage.
Trying to do this as quick as possible.
I think there's a way to force crit in the rolling rules.
I think you're right, but we'll just roll the extra dice probably.
I put this straight through his face.
Yep, absolutely. First one is a hit, and a crit, so that will be at a bare minimum 26 points of damage. But go ahead and re-roll an additional 8, an additional 8, so an extra 2d8 for your crit. So 26 to 33. And then 35. So 35 damage on the first. And you see he shakes from his slumber in horror. He's still prone. You still have advantage on a second strike, but he is awake. Do you attack again?
Yep.
He will put his hand up and start to try to cast a shield spell, but it's not fast enough and would not buy him enough protection. You do hit him with that for another Oh, like same as the previous roll. Another
Exact same roll.
21 damage.
The one.
He is heavily wounded and bloody, but is technically alive still. His mage armor sort of keeping his form from crumbling under your sword strikes. He's going to get a turn here as well. Well, he's the only one that gets a turn here.
Yeah, okay.
And he will immediately just look up to you with his action.
Oh, bonus action dodge, if I could do a bonus action real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, absolutely. He will reach up and cast his highest level spell, Cone
crap.
of Cold. I need you and Shaggy to make a con save.
Oh, bitch.
In these tight confines, well, no, I guess.
18 for Jiri will be a success against his DC, but I need one for Shaggy as well.
Yep.
16 will also be a success. So both of you will take half damage, so 19 damage to you and 19 to Shaggy. And then we don't even need to roll. Your next turn, you're able to clean through him. He was just able to survive long enough to cast one spell your way and ice you and Shaggy. How do you,
I will
kill
hop.
him? How do you kill him the following turn?
Oh, I just again, like, I'm just like stabbing down on his face as he's like trying to cast spells at me.
Okay. Actually, go ahead and roll damage just to make sure you kill him with the next strike and have an available strike for the nearby soldier if you're going to try and walk through all these guys.
I'm gonna try my best. Jiri is just going as fast as he can right now.
You do still have advantage. No, he did stumble to his feet. So 19 will hit even with his mage armor. Even with the shield would just get him there. So you do hit, breaking through his arcane shield in the process, and deal 28 damage is plenty to kill him with the final strike. So you fully cleave him to death.
And then
And have-
I'm gonna
Have an available
Go ahead.
strike left. I was just gonna say you have an available attack left.
Can I get to the other knight? The other
You're not going to be able to get to the knight because you'll have to push past hostile enemy space. But at a bare minimum, you can start attacking the nearest soldier blocking your path.
I'll get to him. Can I hop off Shaggy?
Sure. Yeah, half your movement to do so, but yes,
Alright, and then I will start stabbing this guy.
perfect. Go
Advantage,
for
auto
it.
critical.
Indeed, he is asleep.
Double crits.
Yes, absolutely a crit. What damage are we looking at here? Oh, it calculated it for us. So 21 plus.
Did I add them
18.
all up? I guess so, yeah.
And then another
Yeah, it's an extra D8 and an extra D8. So with 39, you instantly got that individual in his sleep. You essentially have 3 more turns. And because it's not quite fun to turn by turn see if you chip them, 6 attacks is going to be enough to slay these individuals in their sleep / waking up partially in the process.
That's
So describe
cool.
for us how you're gutting through these individuals in the room.
It's very like barbaric. Like Jiri's not being very kind to these individuals and kind of just hacking away at them as like quickly and as brutally as possible. So it is a very emotional Jiri, just wailing away on these guys with his sword.
They both fall to your blade, and from its Vanta black edges just dripping their blood, and you and Shaggy's eyes return to their normal coloration as the spell meets its duration. What do?
I'm gonna head down the row of cells, quickly looking through at the ones that were supposedly open, or sorry, not open, empty, not empty. So is there somebody in cell 1 as I pass?
Yes,
I'm just
I
checking
will
to see
go
if it's
ahead
accurate.
It's supposed to be dark for us.
Yeah, you guys-
Yeah, our
You
creatures
guys
aren't
aren't.
on there.
Your tokens aren't on there,
Got it.
which is fine. But let me.
Guys, do you have any ideas on this puzzle?
I'm just gonna make all of this visible.
I have an idea, but
Token. All right, so Jiri, there is a gate preventing entry, but a quick rifling through of the mage provides a key, a physical key, as well as a familiar looking yellow topaz sort of glyph stone that enacts lock mechanisms that you've seen Moira use at Lux Monastery. So by gathering those and then proceeding onward, you can avail yourself of all of these areas. In cell 1 to the left, it looks like a red-scaled Simic individual. On the right is an empty cell. On the left, one cell in, is a person you've seen before, but has heavily grown scraggly beard, and his hair is even more loose and unkept than you've seen. And he just sort of smolderingly looks up at you as you walk in there. On the right is a different individual, but yeah.
I'll peer through Damien's and be like, I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna keep going.
Wait, I've seen your face. And then you keep walking.
Yeah, don't know this guy.
In that cell, you don't know him, but I'm going to give a brief description. It's a massive beast of a man, middle-aged human with heavily graying hair and a surprisingly fairly groomed gray and white beard that indicates a lack of long-term imprisonment. Perhaps he's recently been imprisoned. And he barely acknowledges you as you move past. You see him glimpse in your direction.
Ignored. This guy?
In this cell, as you start rattling the cage or moving, there's no one in that room until they start wailing, and you see 4 chains affixed to the edges of the bed start rattling and thrusting around, and this person begins to mindlessly scream.
All right, keep going.
On the right side, nothing but a ration storehouse. On the left, a simple individual. Oi, you! Seems to be a human man. Hey, get me out of here, would you? Anka, someone's come for us. And as you sort of look to the right
do I
side,
recognize?
you do not recognize this individual. Clean shaven, short kept hair, looks kind of grimy.
Is he any uniform, any clothing that would?
Very simple prison rags, no discerning uniform or identifying.
Something.
This individual seems to be fallen against their cot, limply laying back. Looks like they have deceased.
Oh. Uncle died.
The left 2 cells are both empty. To the right, you think you've seen this person before. Yeah, they're familiar to you. Anka Prowlfoot. A dark panther-skinned tabaxi, black fur coating her body, just sort of is leaning back near the entrance of her cell and say, Davrin, you fool, no one is... Oh, who could this be? You've seen her before. From long ago. Maybe a year.
Does Jiri have memories of this individual?
They feel hazy. But you think her face looks familiar. You knew her once, but under a different persona that you no longer have access to their memories.
Okay, and so that person, I'll be like, I'll be right back.
And at the very end cell, a half-orc gentleman, just sort of brooding, elbows on his knees, leaning over his cot, sort of staring at the ground. And he sort of looks up in your direction.
The fuck? You're not the usual guard change.
Ew, I'm not. It's gonna be a little awkward. Do you know who I am?
No clue, some fucking trooper.
Kind of. What's your name?
Does Jiri still look like the Scholord?
Oh yeah, darn.
Oh yeah, that's some noble, he would say then.
I forgot.
Uh,
I always picture us as ourselves when we're fighting.
yeah, I always do. I'm gonna drop the illusion, but I don't think this is gonna help either.
The fuck? Okay,
I
now
probably-
you some fool.
I probably would have dropped it before so that like Damien would recognize me too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. Anyways, so it's Jiri looking
he
in.
calls you some trooper, some band troubadour.
Kind of. What's your name?
Grind.
Grime. Okay.
Sorry,
Have you always been known as
Grime.
Grime?
Grein.
Grime.
Fucks it to
Are
you,
you-
mate.
Hold on, let me get you out of here. We can talk later. And Jiri is gonna use the key to open up the cell.
You open the cell, and he rushes you, throwing you in a headlock as fast as he can. Go ahead and make your choice of an athletics or acrobatics check.
Wow, I'm better at acrobatics. I thought I was strong. Four.
24.
Whoa.
He set a very high DC, and you just evade it.
Terrifying.
And then he immediately goes into like a practiced position of hand-to-hand combat.
Hey, whoa, stop. I'm not trying to fight you. I'm letting you go.
Anka, Davrin, this guy's got a key.
Yeah, I know. I'm letting them go too. Would you relax? I'm
Fuck
here to
are
rescue
you?
you. I'm here to
Why?
rescue you.
No, this is some trick of the witch.
All right. You know me. Well, actually, it's really hard to explain, but I know you.
How?
I know you as a different person. At least I think I do.
No, I'm no different person. Just a low-life nothing of the plumes.
Sure, but you haven't always been in the plumes, have you?
Sure, I have joined up as soon as I was of age to make my first trial.
This is what everybody else had to deal with when I was this way. It's gonna be really hard. We're gonna have to deal with this later. But I know you as Drakkar, I think. Or related in a way.
Drakkar.
I think at least. Yeah.
I don't know that name. You've got me
You sure about
confused for someone else.
Alright, well, either way. Stick close. I'm gonna get you out of here.
All right. Anka first.
But no jumping me, or else I'm gonna have to, like, knock you out or something like that.
He looks down the hall toward a collapsed mage and soldier that he can visibly see, and he just gives you a nod.
Alright, come on. I gotta also introduce you to all my friends. Come on.
He follows you. Shifty, constantly paranoid, looking around every corner.
Yeah, so I know you from long, long ago, buddy, okay? We're good friends. And then Jiri's gonna go over
Wait,
this door and
oi.
open it up.
Oi, what's your name?
Judge Jiri.
I don't know you, lad. But on with it.
And you open up Anka's door.
Yep.
Okay. She will warily sort of cat step out of the cell, holding her head aloft, not trusting you, but falling in line with Yoroi.
Alright. Who next? Your other buddy?
Yes, see, I knew this would happen sooner or later. The plumes got far. They got reach, man. They're in the crevices of you-know-where. The witch didn't buy them all. I knew it.
And you are able to free Davrin, a red plume's grunt.
Yeah. But I'm not with the Red Plumes. I'm here with the Four Winds. We're a different group.
Right.
They'll be here soon. Hopefully. This dude's crazy, right? I'm gonna go.
This person appears to be dead, and the person on the left appears to be both
Right.
invisible and crazy.
You guys know anything about this person?
No, he screams day and night anytime he's awoken. Some foul experiment gone wrong, I think.
We'll wait for Toby. He'll know what to do. You guys are gonna. Green, you're gonna really like Toby. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. There's Damien. I know him too. I'm good buds with him.
Ah, there you are, lad. How about opening up that door? Be perfectly reasonable, would you?
Sure, Damien. I told you I'd come rescue you someday.
Did you? I missed that part when I was being ambushed in my tower and escorted off this wherever we've been.
Listen, I'm pretty sure when I was telling you stories, I said I'd always come and rescue you someday.
Listen, your name was some gibberish with a J, yeah? I think I remember you. You and your friends. I made a little bit of coin off you. Listen, what day is it? What month is it? Information's been scarce. Barely been able to piece together from rumors across the other prisoners. Not all have been afforded my length of stay in this place that our generous hosted has bestowed, of course. I fear my mind has dulled a bit, but if the shifting currents of my memory still flow, this is perhaps the 200th day of me imprisonment, which I imagine means Durast has been reigning in Croatia for some more than 6 months now, I suppose.
I'm not good with numbers, especially big numbers like 200. I don't really count days. That's a roulette thing.
Fun. Where's Roulette? She sounds like someone I'd prefer to talk to.
Yeah, she got a big brain, big nerd.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go talk to her, shall we? Lead the way.
All right. Oh, who's this guy, Damien?
So your band of friends is here with you, and he's just kind of continuing to talk. This guy doesn't sort of shut up.
Damien, let me introduce you to Gren, also known as Drakkar. We go long back.
As you go to this cell and even open it, he doesn't move. He just regards you with a slumped look and shakes his head.
Get out of here, you lot. Leave me be.
Damien, you know what's up with this dude?
He's only been brought in very recently. Hasn't been as talkative as I'd like, being across the hall and all. I'd like to strike up conversation when I can, learn about you. But no, can't say I know who he is.
Is that cell
buddy.
4?
It is cell 4.
Well, the rescue party is here. Time to get out of here.
That was Steven asking above table, sorry.
I ain't going nowhere. Leave me to rot.
Oh, that's not a great attitude.
Hasn't been a
Not often
particularly
that,
great life.
Well, it's only up from here, so come on, let's go. Jury will open the door and then, like, see if he can, like, pick this guy up. Not, like, in an aggressive manner, but, like, in a helpful way.
As you
Damien,
approach
give us
him,
another arm.
go ahead and make an acrobatics or athletics check as
Oh,
he
darn it.
reaches out suddenly. 12. It'd be. There we go. 32 will
shit.
beat ya.
What the?
As you approach and slowly lean in helpingly to lift him. He just seizes your scruff by the collar of your shirt, pulls you close, and says, "Get the fuck out of here before I squash your head with my belt." And he just throws you backwards.
Okay, we're leaving this guy here.
I just love
I
the
think
out of
that's a-
character. What the fuck?
I think that's a perfectly reasonable strategy. Let's shelter out the people who are desperate to get the fuck out of here. Yeah?
Yeah, we should have known this guy was also crazy like that other one.
Indeed, indeed.
What about this guy?
That individual, the human, just looks up at you. And now you're realizing they're not even in prison rags. They're in chainmail. Durastian infantry. And he just looks up at you with red eyes.
Cell 1.
Cell 1.
I don't like the look of this guy. Hey man, what's your read? Could probably be crazy.
Hey, you breaking everyone out of here? I'm happy to go with you.
Hey, what's your deal, dude?
I'm a subject to experimentation. The witch got me. Started applying her magics to me. Not particularly keen to keep that going. Get me out of
I've
here.
never done that as well. Yep. You'll fit in with our lot.
Perfect.
Alright. I'll let this guy
You
out you.
smile like that? Or is that Crit smiling?
He smiles like that.
Him. You have
Is
to
Jury
check his
wary
smile.
of this?
Come on, let's make it a rush already. Damien's just urgently urging you out.
Yeah, Jury wants to get like a read on this guy though.
Okay, go ahead and make
If he's
it
wearing
easy.
Durastian armor, I'm gonna be a little suspicious, especially since I just got yelled at by the last dude.
Yep,
And
go
he has
ahead and
red
make an insight
eyes.
check.
Yeah, red eyes are a little weird too.
Yeah, it's like the
insight-
irises are red. It's not even like they're glowing red. It's just the irises are a non-typical color.
Ooh. About as good as I
There
can hope
is-
for.
There is something about the way he was saying he wants an escape that didn't feel like he felt he was a prisoner. Maybe a voluntary experiment.
Like he's. Hold up, Damien. Got a bad feeling about this dude.
Yes, I agree completely. Let's on with it. Away from this lad.
Hold on. Let's wait here. My friends will be here any moment.
That sounds perfectly reasonable. Let's just get on the other side of the cell block. And he points to the bars preventing access to and from this place.
Scary looking guy. I can't tell if you're crazy or not. I'll be back though. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Damien, Grin, Anka, and the other dude that I can't remember your name. This is Shaggy.
Gavrin.
No, Jerry says that.
Oh, you found yourself a flying carpet. I have one myself in my lost tower.
Yeah, we'll get that back. Alright, guys.
Because the witch left all of the magical paraphernalia I had stored there, of course. I imagine that's what
we'll
she
take
would have done.
We're here to take care of her. Don't you worry about it, Damien.
Also, I was confiscated of my spellbook and my ring. I need those back. I think the witch has them. Oh, and she might not be a typical witch. I want to talk with you and your party.
So they should be here momentarily while we're waiting. Hey,
Very well. Shouldn't
let's,
we go to them? You know, just decrease the amount of time spent, distance over time, and all that.
oh, they're very slow, but they'll be here eventually. Plus, they might want to look at the prisoners.
Hmm.
Plus,
I will indulge
I
you
need you.
for a few minutes.
I need you to start talking to this Gren guy. I need you to find out more about these red plumes. Get them up.
I'll indulge my prison breaker for a moment or two. Oi, you! Your name's Grine, is it? And he starts chatting up Grine.
Perfect.
And as you have begun a prison break, we'll zoom back to the rest of the party.
Begun? He's completed a prison
Well, completed,
Yeah.
but the prisoners have nowhere to go
Yeah, that's true.
except up and out. So
Done this
we'll see how successful that is for them. But they are availed of an opportunity. So now we'll zoom back over and we'll place the map back here. For those investigating the final bookshelf with its strange array of 5 specific tomes, each with a different language in association with 5 different planes. Moira has certainly been someone who's a student of various planar magics. Certainly the Hells, certainly this plane, works of Black Mithril from Shadowfell magic, works of Weirdfire infusing Feywild essence into Alchemist Fire, and then for some reason a Monarch's Path is here as well. What are you guys thinking?
And I...
All right. We've searched this place generally. There's no books lying around that were accessible. The 3 books that we see in this whole room are on the desk, bound to the desk.
In front of the podiums, they're suspended above the podiums, but yes. And then the 5 on the bookshelf.
Okay, so it's a pentagram. So there's 5 points to this star. I just feel like we haven't found everything yet. Like, she has to have, I think, more. Like, where's the blood? Where's that she's talking about? Roulette, did you give her your blood? Did she take it from you when we were in prison?
I would have told you this, but
Did you?
yes, I did.
You told us about the deal.
Yeah, I definitely
Okay,
would have. I would not have kept that secret.
I didn't know we knew that. So, do you think your blood would be gone, Roulette, or would she have saved some of it?
I don't know, and I don't know that that truly matters.
In some senses, if you think about this, we have, I mean, she's above all. She succeeded. Like, is there nothing we could do in this place that could slow her down somehow? If this is the one thing we can't penetrate here, that thing seems like the one thing worth finding out.
At Telperion mentioning blood, I'm looking at the thing that Roulette didn't read, but that Roulette keenly heard from Telperion. He says blood. She looks at thinks of the Blood and Lies book. Splendid Shadows being written in Elvish. There's a book on humans. Monarch's Path was the first one that caught her eye as far as like that's related to Jiri. She is a weird, witchy, emotional, devious woman who knows us as her foes and her key targets. Is there anything I can deduce from the topics of the books in relation to the 4 winds?
Absolutely.
Or in relation to her test subjects, and what a missing like 6th part of this key would be?
I'm going to have you...
Hands around Roulette's head.
Okay. You see Roulette, Zach Galifianakis numbers floating in front of her hands, and you just know she needs a little
acuity.
love. Go ahead and roll a history check, Roulette.
You get an extra 2. No.
Big yikes. I will spend one of my inspiration points.
Wow.
He's bold, he's brave, he's beautiful.
I had 2. I hate having 2 because I would always forget that I have 2, and I like having the icon there. And I will roll again.
Fuck yeah.
Plus a d4 of Toby's roll. Oh, 2. 23.
And I will add a 4 to that as well to make it...
expending another flash of genius to do so. You think through it a little bit, and that was an interesting idea, but then you dismiss it. Because how egotistical to think that you guys are worth that level of attention from this widely thinking individual. Why would you 4 be this important to her radar? To put a puzzle in defense of some unknown mechanism or hidden secret or something. But there's no way a monarch's path is not tied to Jiri somehow. Plane of air. A different plane, a different plane, a different plane. You put together. These are all relevant to her experiences with planar magic. You think interacting with these in a particular order
Chronology of her experiments.
will avail you of their secret.
So
Perhaps her own experiential trajectory.
To the book, back to the book, back to the book, back to the book.
Chronology, for example.
Do you want me to type the books out, guys? Because I wrote them down.
I have them too.
It's in the chat.
Oh, okay.
No, he's looking at the contents of the grimoire.
I was talking about the grimoire.
And she said something about spending quintessence to come here.
So in
Oh yeah,
Infernal
you
was
should
from-
potentially throw that in the chat maybe, but yep.
Oh yeah, I got you. What I got?
Potentially. if
email?
you want to, yeah.
So Inferno would be the beginning, right? If she's a devil, obviously. So we could start at the. Which one is the devil? The bottom left. The top one, Jiri would have to be the last, right?
No. Yes and no. I mean, he was definitely one of the more recent hex subjects, but even from the I almost want to call it the Grimmery. The grimoires on the tables, she's had at least one other successful.
She was working with the Black
subject
Mithril from the
after that.
Shadowfell, which would be Splendid
Which one is
Shadows.
Shadowfell? Is that the Infernal? Splendid Shadows. Oh.
She was talking about Black
Oh.
Mithril from the Elves of the Shadowfell, so that's why it would be an Elven.
Is human the common? Is that from Roulette? Like, is the person who
Not me.
started the Guardian Project human though?
You've dismissed the idea that it's from Roulette,
This is
but
about
more
No,
so that it's of common prime material plane experience. She's
That's
been
what I mean.
researching specifically potent decrees of the humans, religions, and pantheons. She was researching or put some amount of interest in commonplace prime material planar magic
Can I
at some point in her chronology of interest.
touch one of the books?
You may touch one of the books. Which book do you touch?
Insist we do Infernal first. That's the only one thing we know.
Yeah, Blood and
That
Lies.
if she, right. What
Whichever-
I'm hoping is we could just go in a circle.
Whichever one I was just directed to.
Bottom left.
Bottom left, you touch it, and you touch the B. It's written in Infernal, but Telperian's relaying that to you. And the first letter glows. And out of curiosity, you indulge and you stroke its spine. And all of the letters of the spine glow, and it begins to emanate red magic.
So the bottom right is Sylvan.
Of the Feywild.
Right. Right. So the next one over, and then
Can we,
then
Christopher, can you just read them from like where I started and just in a clockwise section? Like, just give me the first letter because that'll be the easiest way.
Yeah. Where you started, bottom left, Blood and Lies.
Yeah.
The next point of the star up and to the left is Splendid Shadow. The top is a Monarch's Path. The top right, moving down though, is Potent Decrees of the Humans, Religions, and Pantheons. And then the bottom right point of the star is Methods in Madness.
so
Okay.
planar. Is it reasonable to think that the Sylvan one is the weird fire experimentation, or are we talking more like?
That could be connected. She has interest in weird fire and the elemental, or not elemental, but the infusion of the chaos of the plane of fairy into items. So yeah, you think that's tied together.
Critter, I'm gonna be rude. Can top right and bottom right? Can you? What were they again?
Top right is Potent Decrees of the Humans, Religions, and Pantheons.
And then Methods and Madness was the bottom right.
Correct.
Beautiful. Telperion, between oh no. I mean, could we be in agreement that a Monarch's Path is probably the last one? If Jiri's the most recent?
I would think. Right?
Uh,
And the
do you-
Shadowfell.
Do you
Sorry.
trust me to do something really quick?
I trust you. I'll just say the Shadowfell theoretically is from the swords, right? So that would be early on, but wouldn't she have researched the humans before that to come here? I don't really know.
I'm gonna go up to Potent Decrees of Humans and rub my thumb along the spine.
As you do so,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the letters glow, and it emanates a red glow, and a tether of arcane red energy connects those two books.
He's drawing the star.
I start going over to Splendid Shadows, and I say one of the benefits of airborne combat is you get to see what's on the floor, and I will point to the star that is underneath the desk, and I will go to the S for Splendid Shadows and draw my thumb along there. It's gonna be really fun if I'm really cocky and wrong.
All the letters glow, and a new tether is connected.
I will go down to Methods in Madness. Do the same thing.
A new tether is created.
And then I will go to the top of the star, which I had it inverted in my head because the star is backwards on the floor. And I will go to a Monarch's Path and rub the last one there.
Not subjected to whatever mischievous or harmful effect you may have encountered if you were wrong. You have interacted with all of these correctly, and as these tethers of this pentagram hover in front of you, a flash of cinders appears and falls to the middle, disapparating from nowhere, just becomes and settles onto the shelf. Not floating, not fixed in place, just a book.
Yoink.
Is that a spell book?
Yoink.
Yeah, yoink.
You grab it, Toby?
I read the cover. If there is their cover.
As you look at it, there is a cover, but it's a wide book and very thin. And you open it, and you can tell that there's lead lining inside of it, on the inside of each cover.
Yo,
And
she's
there's
very
no
fuck.
and there's no contents. There's no pages within. But when you open it fully, it displays nothing but a pitch black expanse within. Not dissimilar to that of a bag of holding or a portable hole. Just a 2 foot wide by 1 foot tall, dark opening. Tobirama, who opened it, do you reach in?
No, we gotta catch up with Jiri.
Oh, what?
I mean, Toby kind of says it like that. Like,
Daisy, you want to do me a favor? And I will, Toby, hold it out for her. Daisy, and I'm gonna just look at Daisy. I'm like, gold coin. Just think of a gold coin. Same way you'd reach in here for a gold coin. Think of a gold coin. And I'm just gonna have Daisy reach into the book.
Reaches in, and her arm disappears as it goes in shoulder deep. And she hits something,
Holding onto her leg.
and then moves her arm and grasps something and pulls out a small leather satchel.
Good job, Daisy. Thank you, Daisy.
As she lets go and gives it to you, she reaches her arm back in.
Well, no, because she has 4 arms, so she could do this multiple
Yeah,
times.
yeah. She hands you one carefully, and with her other arms, both of her arms go in.
there's probably a lot. This might take a while.
She pulls out a singular, thick, beautifully bound tome.
Terrifying.
Take that.
You have a leather satchel and a large, thick tome.
Satchel is like
There appear to be 2 lumps as Daisy sets the satchel in your hand. There are 2 items in there.
I will.
Oh, yeah. Open it.
I will gingerly. I got the satchel.
You got the satchel? Oh, I thought Toby took it. Got it.
I will gingerly. We're past the trap. He confidently says.
I think that's
It's definitely not a bomb. I will gingerly open it and have get a little light inside. I'm not dumping anything out, but I just want to see if I can see what is inside.
There are 2 small stone-like items. One small, circular, smooth, with a small design imprinted on it. You've seen these before. That's a sending stone. And the other is about a 4-inch long, 1-inch wide, and jagged and curved edged hunk of mundane gray organic metal.
Does it look gray?
Divinor.
It is unquestionably, in your experience, a Divinor shard and a sending stone.
I will highly recommend that we keep these within that lead-bound portable bookcase. Oh, it's technically a bookcase.
You leave them in the satchel for now.
I will. Yeah, I'm not touching them. I'm assuming it's like a little coin purse thing. I will cinch it shut, and I will, trusting Daisy's arm, I will put it back in the thing.
I want to reach into that little verse and see if there's anything else of grabbing possible.
You reach into this portfolio-esque binding, and you reach your hand in there, and you feel the corners of this little pocket plane. There is nothing else in there.
Hey, Toby, can you get me for a second? And I want you to just like tap me on the head with the guidance. And I want to open this book. I'm not going to indulge myself. I just want to know if it's her spell book. And I just want help because I'm kind of scared of what reading it will do. And real gingerly, peek in.
Okay. You open, and then your brow furrows, and you flip through a couple pages. This is no spell book. It's a book of memory and logic exercises, but its words are charged with magic. If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, your intelligence increases by 2 to a maximum of 30. This is a tome of clear thought.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And none of you were subjected to the trap on the pentagram.
Oh.
Real lucky guess with that starting point.
I don't think lucky guess.
That's good deduction. All right.
Yeah,
I think we have.
Yeah.
25%
I think
chance.
it's sufficiently interacted with her lab, right? The only thing we didn't check was the logbook on the way in.
You do have 2 lead boxes, one marked heart and one marked Mastool, that you have stowed, but you don't know the contents.
Because, and remind me, you said there was...
There's a spell tag wrapped around them that upon opening would break the spell tag, which has some sort of magic bound to it. You're not sure what.
Yeah, we're not going to open that until we can detect magic on what kind of spell it is.
This also should go in like a backpack or something, because I do not want to put this in a bag of holding. No. I do not want to put this in any sort of pocket plane.
Okay.
I'll put those 2, what are they? Little boxes? I'll put them in my...
Yeah, like a little small footlocker, like a...
I'll hang on to Mass
pencil
tools.
case.
Okay, I'll hang on to hearts.
Okay.
And I will take the lead
Here you go.
portfolio, and I will stow it in my backpack, not the bag of holding.
Man, she's gonna be fucking pissed when she realizes what's happened.
We should get going. Jiri needs us. Right?
Okay.
I don't
Can
think
we
there's
make
anything
that vapor? Can we break those glass vapor things as we go? Or maybe that'll set off a bomb. Maybe that's not ideal. Maybe that is ideal. Do we want to blow this place or fuck up whatever that experiment is? I mean, I could throw a rock as we
I
leave.
mean, I can shoot
I
some
have a
arrows at it.
barrel of wildfire.
Weird fire.
Weird
You want-
fire.
Do you have only one, or do you want to set some out and I'll
have, like,
ignite
8.
it? I can start a chain reaction from afar or something.
hang on. One thing. If we start this lab on fire, the whole castle could go on fire. Is that bad? Is that desired? Will it give away our location too fit soon? When are we about to go fight the king right now? We're gonna use the map and go.
Here's as a book nerd kind of thing. I don't think there's anything left in here that she would find valuable apart from what we have just pillaged from that little pocket plane. Those grimoires, tons of pages ripped out. Like, she's taken the important stuff. Anything she's written down, she already knows. I don't think we need to worry about tarnishing her.
She's gonna be so pissed.
So I think we should just get
All right, let's book it.
going.
We can be walking as we're saying this.
We can be running
Okay.
as we're saying this.
Yes.
All right, you're checking in with each other, having conversation between huffs of breaths, and it takes you a little bit. Jiri, you with your band of prison breakees, Damien Hart's getting pretty impatient. Listen, Jerry, was it? I know everything there is to know about this grind fellow. He's not that interesting. Can't we get out of here now?
Alright, did you take notes for me to consult later?
Yes, stored within my own mind. Steel trap and all.
Perfect. Alright, they'll be here any moment now. Just
Very well.
wait.
Spellbook, ring.
On.
Need them.
I'm hoping they bring that stuff. Usually,
Hmm.
I can communicate with them with my mind. You wait here, be quiet for a second. Let me try it. I'm gonna think really hard down the hallway at whoever's coming.
Okay. You
Which
do
only works
so.
if you see me.
He sees you borderline look constipated for a minute or two, and then eventually, Telperion, you're hit with a message from Jiri. Psionic connection.
Hello, hurry, hurry, they're getting impatient.
We're running. You can see us running as I'm saying, we're running.
I told you they're slow.
I'd eagerly get out of here right away, but those cells drain you of magic, you know. I need my spellbook if I'm to enact something, anything.
Could you with
Figure it
the...
out.
Oh, hi, Damien. How are you?
Oh, so you all are still traveling together. Great to see the war hasn't broken you apart. Just my tower.
Four Winds, these are my new friends.
Is this yours? And I'm gonna take out the lead box. Can you detect what's on
Uh,
this?
It has my name on it, I can see. Yes, give it to me.
Okay, hang on. There's magic sealed on this before I give it
Ah.
to you.
I just explained to your friend. I don't have magic until I get my spellbook. The cells drain me of all capabilities for the day, and I can only recover a little bit by studying my spellbook.
I'm just saying, if you open this, you could trigger something. There's magic in the seal.
I hear you. Worth it.
Can I?
Eagerly takes it from you, opens it, just snaps it. The spell
just
tag
let
snaps and falls to the ground and burns away. Well, who knows what that did? And he opens the box and puts on this beautiful ruby ring, but it's two halves of a ring that are magically suspended together. And he just slips it on and then grabs his spell book. Ah, thank all the lords that I don't even believe in. Very well. And he flips it open and just starts studying, kind of losing interest in his surroundings or all of
We
you.
should open the other one then, right? If it just warned her, then she knows.
Can I, in a quick moment, seeing like the way the paper snapped and that it burned away, can I tell like what the effect of this was? Assuming
Go
it's
ahead and
some
make an
sort of,
Arcana check.
like seeing the spell in action. 20.
You do think it's some version of a modified combination of Glyph of Warding / alarm spell. Some version of communication just took place.
Okay.
Perhaps unsurprisingly.
Probably shouldn't have let him do that.
I
We
mean,
have like minutes, right? She could be back here now.
Damien, any chance you have a mass teleportation spell to get these folks out of here?
I sure do. Just give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
That's my first priority, lass.
How many people can you take with you?
Ooh. Good point. About a couple of our prisoners. And some of you. Not all of you.
That's perfect.
Not
That's
us.
perfect.
You don't want to get out of here. What the
We have
fuck's
our
the
own way
matter
out.
with you?
The four of us have our own way out.
Me and Uptown.
Maybe in the Glassguard can come with us, but Glassguard.
These are thieves of the Red Plumes, loyalists of Daenor. Why am I taking these with me back to wherever I'm teleporting to?
They're very important.
Actually, I don't know. But wait, we do know.
They're important to our friend here, and that's enough.
They're
And,
guests of the dawn of the Queen.
Yeah,
Hey guys, there's other prisoners too.
questionable company you keep. Oh yes, there are additional. That one lad didn't want to come with us. Calling him lad's a bit of a stretch. He's 30 years.
One of them
my
beat
senior.
me up, which was pretty impressive
Toby
because that's hard to
has
do.
walked into this room and has noticed that none of these people have the bearing of a respected Talon of Daenor, and will move in. I remember hearing the names called off, and Toby is gonna go to the open door of
Feeling Toby.
Talon.
You
by
pass the
Eyes.
red-eyed Durastian man and go over to the right. And you peek your head in, even pushing into the environment.
I don't enter. I just go
Okay.
to the open door.
Okay. As you near, this massive man, middle-aged, heavily graying hair, glances up at you and puts his head in his hands. Of course you'd come to haunt me as well. I thought... No, I wished that you'd forgotten me. You left this place before it became what it is now. And I've lost all of you to foreigners. And now the greatest threats come from within. And the only living relic of the old way. I bear the shame of a fear-filled people now desperate to fill fear in others. Abandon me, spirit. Everyone else has.
Toby's very composed and just intent here. He's like, these words do not fall on my ears with understanding. But I knew a man named Gallus, who was once named Noah. And he spoke of his time as a Talon of Daenor to speak of only 3 people. One was the just and proud king, Armand, who was usurped by the traitor we are here to dispose of today. And he told me to seek out one of his oldest friends, Bryce.
He looks up at you and says, "No, you're gone. You, Noah, even Coda now."
I don't understand.
He's just glaring at you.
I want to step in, and I want to just kind of squat down and say, I don't think you've ever met this man.
He looks closer, and he actually stands up. He towers over you, 7.5 feet tall. This man is a mountain of a human. He looks down at you. You're the gray in your hair, the wrinkles. Where'd they go? Amenadil, what are you?
This is not Amenadil.
My name is Toby Rama. I grew up
But
in
do you recognize him?
I'm 26 years old.
And an orphan, right?
I met Noah, who I know as Gallus, in Force Hollow some year and a half ago.
You see ghostly realization on his face. The exile. It was for a woman. He had a child. And we will end the session there.
Menadu. The exile. Away with you, spirit. My dad was a Talon with Gallus? Okay. Fascinating.
It was always strange
His
how
interest in me.
welcoming Gallus was toward you.
Fascinating.
He was like that with everyone, but he had a particular tenderness with you.
I have some session rewatching to do. I was
Fun
worried about you,
comment.
MJ. I was worried about you, MJ. I thought you were about to spoil something that would ruin your contract.
Oh, no.
Fun comment. In session 1 of Eridon, Telperian's a prince. Jiri's a prince. Roulette looks to Toby and says, "You're not royalty, are you?"
I remember that.
Chris been dying from that irony, unspoken for
That
3
happened
years.
session 1.
Oh man. Classic. I knew it.
Of all the different ways that we fucked over Moira today, this is the way I'm the happiest about.
I was like getting ready to be like, Roulette, can you do the dispel magic this time on the tag so I don't have to? But Damien wasn't waiting.
Yeah.
That's actually a really scary.
Intermediately, do you open Mestul's box? We could do that now if you guys choose to.
Honestly, yeah, we maybe
I mean-
could use it, and it's the deed is done, right?
The deed is done. I mean, whoever's getting alerted by the first one is going to get alerted by the second one, and it's probably Moira both times. I guess with my 20, do I know a quick, easy way to undo a spell tag without alerting the person? Or is it just like,
Without
just
dispel
magic?
alarm is a pretty sturdy spell.
Yeah.
Would they not have gotten dispelled when we dispelled the whole desk? Because they
No.
were in the lock.
No,
These
I
were a separate
targeted the
object.
table, so spells
Yeah, he targeted the
targeting
desk.
the table.
Boxes
Dispel.
within the desk were not dispelled, but the 2 glyphs of Arcane Lock were.
Got it. That would have been really convenient.
Quick check.
Yeah,
do, we
that
want,
part's really scary too.
do we want to
Do you
open the
wanna
second
open it?
box really quick?
Fuck it. Damien
Love
said
Toby
fuck it.
would
I
have proffered it. He wouldn't have thought much of it.
Open it.
The lead box that displays Mestul. You see within, cushioned on a velvet black pad, a single diamond needle and a beautiful silver ring etched with flowing swirls and cradling 3 gorgeous diamond stones. A small scrap of paper, infernal,
God damn.
annotate the box's contents, which say,
Can you still
our
read
final
it?
bit
It
our
lasts
final
for an
bit of
hour.
text. I'll still read it. 3 bullet points.
Oh my
Outsourcing investigation to Ska Lord Mastul in the remote mountains of Cliffshade has proven the most fruitful of my efforts in that city. Divinor recovery efforts continue after discovery of the shard, which has been moved to Shelf 3 for protection. Although recovered Divinor has remained scarce, I should almost have sufficient supply for my Duke. Additionally, I have developed a recent theory that because Divinor is an organic metal, it should be able to synergize with an adjusted application of the Feral 5 Catalyst Serum as long as the subject's blood holds some measure of Divinor within it. The diamond needle appears to be of rare Gith make and contains a useful enchantment I should consider adding to my form. The ring appears, after much research, to have once belonged to Rowangen, the king of the storm giants who fought against the darkness and the sundering. Strangely, although it appears to me that its magical potential has not dimmed in over almost 2 millennia, it is suspiciously inert and resists attunement. I hypothesize that being struck by the original force of thunder and power of lightning that sourced its original magic while wearing the item will force an attunement.
Yes.
Perhaps the Duke will have access to a vessel suitable for an extended search across the Jazuran Sea for the hiding isle Umali. These 2 items are, which I have not created in D&D Beyond per se, a diamond needle of a magical tattoo, which you guys have encountered before, and a ring of elemental command of air, a legendary item that is currently not attunable.
What kind of enchantment? Dang.
The enchantment, just because I'll just kind of give it to you with annotation and all, is of absorbing tattoo in the celestial variant. So it avails you of celestial resistance or a moment of celestial immunity for a moment.
Whoa.
Which Moira is very interested in.
Why is she scared of celestial damage? Or radiant damage? Is that the implication, radiant damage?
I think it's an implication of devils versus celestials.
Toby,
It's
keep that in
a
mind.
worthwhile threat of beings.
Oh, especially if she's trying to capture radiant divine entities. Wow. Oh my god, this is so scary. She's on her way.
Yeah, I feel like she's
Christopher.
gonna teleport into the fight with us.
Yeah.
Big yikes. Christopher, the I'm just gonna the moat of short rest. That charm basically lets you experience an hour of short rest.
Specifically rest. So if there's other things that you can do in an hour, it doesn't avail you of a free hour time stop. It is specifically the feature short rest. So if there are things you can do during a short rest, those should be available. But if you're
here.
Yeah, if you're trying to swap attunements, you could try it.
Okay.
If you're trying to powder
No.
gold over
no,
the
no.
course of an hour,
Not trying
you
to-
think
not trying to
it's not
time travel.
availing you of
No.
time, but a restful state
not
of
a
mind,
time
you can
turn.
try it.
Oh, attuning to an item requires a creature to spend a short rest focused on only that item while being in physical contact with it.
So scary. 1, 2, 3. Damien makes 4. So Damien can take, if he's using the spell teleport, he can take 8. So he could theoretically take 4 glass guard. How many glass guard are there? And
There
5.
are 5. 1 left would not avail you of a very meaningful ally. As a squadron,
Person.
as a 5-person squadron, they are a meaningful token on the field, but 1 is not particularly meaningful.
Toby, I know you started listing out invisibility things.
Oh, wow.
Do we have 4 sources of invisibility? We do.
I have 2 potions of invisibility, 1 spell scroll of invisibility, 1 potion of greater invisibility, and 1 spell scroll of greater invisibility.
I think the 2 spell scrolls and then the 2 regular invisibilities should be what we use.
Oh, nice.
Just because. Well, I don't know who it's going to, but like spell scroll of greater, spell scroll of regular, potion of regular, and then I have 5 charges in the dart that covers.
I know
Greater's a minute.
I know we're a little out of session, but I want to say something. If you guys as a team are sort of collaborating about this,
Right.
thinking it through, the Glass Guard leader, Nefeni, half-elf woman, will remind you, having eavesdropped a little, that part of the goal of their attendance here is to make a show of creation strength and be visible. So sending them back home will nullify the benefit on an optics standpoint of Creatia's ability to throw down their aggressor, and it will just be some assassins cutting Zavar down in hidden environments. They are eager to remain visible, and even should they fail and die, be part of a gauntlet of ascension up this tower to avail you the chance and hopefully them to contribute to Zavar's fall.
So, fuck. I agree with keeping them. I think